guy is the prize of their organization.
I think he's going to be a good one.
There's no doubt in my mind that this man will hit 40 home runs in the big leagues someday.
Russell Bryan, they have just left the park.
I think those guys from Team USA might be right when they said he's the best player they saw in the minor leagues.
No wonder the Yankees wanted to get this guy involved in the lineup.
I'm telling you something, this guy is such a great athlete. He's got such a good breaking ball besides the heat.
So back to you. He struck him out. This guy has a chance to be a superstar.
I watched him a couple of years in the Cape League. I haven't seen another pitcher in 15 years get as many swings and misses.
He's on top of the game.
Chopper, runner coming. Right to the plate, throws on the money. Tag made, they got him. And he rips it to right field. Off the top of the wall. Goodbye, home run. It's the Radio Shack Futures All-Star Game here at beautiful Safeco Field, where today the World All-Stars take on the USA All-Stars. You're going to see the best of the minor league baseball players. Welcome, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, along with Peter Gammons and Harold Reynolds. And as the years have gone by, this Futures All-Star Game has taken on added importance for the major league organizations, Peter. Why?
Well, first of all, there are more GMs that watch this game than watch the game Tuesday night. But for years, Major League Baseball had old-timers games. That kind of told the game was better then. It's not. This game emphasizes just how good, strong, athletic the young players are. And the other element is this shows how baseball has increasingly become such an international game. Its popularity spans the globe.
You're going to see that in the names and countries we'll recognize here today. Some of these players may get to the major leagues sooner than they thought, Harold. One with the Atlanta Braves, Wilson Beneman, who's a third baseman shortstop, may be there this year.
Yeah, he's only 19 years old with the injury to Rafael Furcal. You never know. This young man was the guy that the Braves signed at 15 years old, had to pay all that money for. Well, they're getting their money's worth. He is an incredible talent. He's a switch hitter, but he could actually probably hit better from the right side and maybe play at the big league level right now.
Harold, we're going to see some real power in this lineup. The Houston organization has a young man by the name of Jason Lane we're going to see.
I got a chance to see Jason Lane in the College World Series. Came up real big for USC in their title run that year, but he's got tremendous power, and I think he's a great lesson on perseverance and the importance of playing in the Cape League in the summer that Peter's been preaching to me forever, because he was an undrafted player as a junior, and he goes out his senior year, and now he's a big-time star at the Astros.
We're going to get a chance to see him here, and batting behind him in the USA lineup, Adam Dunn, 30 home runs coming into this Futures All-Star Game. Stand by, everybody. You're going to hear some names you'll be hearing a lot more of in Major League Baseball's future history, all coming up from Seattle.
What's going on?
Is technology simplified?
What's going on?
Is a great selection of brand name products, services, and cool gifts?
What's going on?
Is helpful experts ready to answer your questions?
What's going on?
Is over 7,000 Radio Shack stores across America?
What's going on?
Is that now we do installations?
What's going on?
Is Radio Shack connecting you to?
What's going on? Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on. What's going on?
They say if you want to sell your product, get a cute little dog for your commercial. Here, Buster, best of 7-Up. Oh, Buster's sleepy. Pick you when you wake up, little friend.
Quit now.
I promise you it is my last one. Skill. I run this operation down to the smallest detail.
You're the boss.
Trust. $30 million. Deception.
Hold it right there.
This is a stupid move.
Should have made me a partner, you know?
This Friday, some things are not what they seem.
This is over now.
It's not over yet. Robert De Niro, Edward Norton.
You want me to list the ways I can burn you?
When did you start thinking you were smarter than me? The Score. Rated R. This Friday in theaters everywhere.
That's 400 years of grime. We clean each layer, gently revealing the original beauty. As an art restorer, I do know a thing or two about stains. That's why I tried new Crest White Strips. It's this thin little strip with the same whitening ingredient dentists use. 30 minutes twice a day. I mean, I still use my whitening toothpaste, but brushing just cleans the surface. Crest White Strips get at stains below the enamel to whiten teeth 10 times better in just 2 weeks. Whiter teeth for at least 6 months. Wow. The difference you see is amazing. With Crest White Strips, I want to tell everyone, hey, check out this smile.
New Crest White Strips. Reveal your wider smile.
The Radio Shack All-Star Futures Game is brought to you by Radio Shack, official sponsor of Major League Baseball, and in part by Paramount Pictures' new film, The Score. Starts July 13th everywhere. Rated R.
What a beautiful shot. Mount Rainier, of course, the highlight here in Seattle. Wherever you are in the city, you take a look at that magnificent mountain. This beautiful city, you talk about excitement baseball-wise. Could there be more? I don't think so. Their ball club has been the surprise story of the first half of the season, the best team in Major League Baseball. And wouldn't you know it, in a brand new ballpark, Safeco Field, not only do they have the league's best, they also get the All-Star game. Alvaro Martin with a very special guest. Alvaro.
A man involved in baseball for 7 decades, the first Latin star in the major leagues, Minnie Minoso. You told me that the secret to your success in the major leagues, 7 All-Star games, 3 Golden Gloves, was playing every game like a rookie. What are you telling these guys?
Exactly what I just told you, and exactly what you see in my book, exactly what I feel. I think each day is a new day. You have to remember one thing. The mistake you ever make, you always remember that, just not to commit the same mistake again. But if you have a good day, you have to forget it. Tomorrow you're supposed to do better. This is my intention, and this is what I used to do when I was playing the game. And I corrected myself through somebody criticize. Never get mad when somebody criticize, because to me, that's is cool. Somebody says something that you do wrong, they show you that you do wrong. You don't say anything, you try to do better.
U.S. team.
Boy, I'll tell you, there's a great legend who played decade after decade after decade after decade, and if he was allowed the chance, he'd come back and do it again.
He'd probably try to play right now if they let him, no doubt.
If the White Sox attendance goes down enough, it might happen.
Gotta love that, don't you? Here's the lineup for This Is Team World. Alfredo Amazaga with the Angels, Wilson Betterman with the Braves, Bill Ortega of the Cardinals, Juan Rivera with the Yankees, Mike Rivera of the Tigers, Carlos Pena with the Rangers, Felipe Lopez of the Blue Jays, Miguel Cabrera of the Marlins, and Wilkin Ruan, who plays with the Montreal Expos. That's the starting lineup for Team World.
Now pitching, young left-hander in the Kansas City organization. George is the #1 pick of the sandwich pick a couple of years ago. He's leading the American Association in wins. He's always had to listen to be likened to Tom Glavine, but right now he's probably the best prospect the Royals have.
And let's check out the defense.
We'll do that in a minute. We're going to let him start pitching. George ready. They're wearing the caps of their major league organizations. And the pitch is taken for a strike. Alfredo Amazaga playing at shortstop. High heat, foul back.
Well, Gary, as you know, the shortstop has been a problem for the Angels.
He's got to be 90. He's got to be.
Honest to God, it looks like.
And you know, he's a guy that that they think has a lot of life and can eventually be a pretty good player for them.
Takes the pitch on the outside corner. Good start for Chris George of the Royals, who gets a strikeout. Harold, defensively, here's what you're looking at.
Well, you got a chance to check out a lot of young stars. The main thing about this game, remember, young guys are going to make some mistakes, but I think the one name that stands out in my mind is third baseman Sean Burroughs, the big, talented young kid from San Diego Padres.
These pitchers are going to work an inning, basically, as they try and get everybody into the ball game. 7-inning ball game, by the way. So these pitchers have nothing to hold back, and they all, obviously, they and the position players trying to make another statement here. They know all of Major League Baseball is watching, and Betterman's got a base hit.
Well, it's a great time. It's a glorified instructional league. This is kind of what you will see when you have all the teams playing in an instructional league. You have the top people from the organization come down to watch you play, and you turn it up that week. It's a good-looking swing. We talked about him in the open. Stays with this ball. Peter just drives it the other way.
Well, I know there are a lot of people in that Braves organization who think this guy could be a third hitter in the big leagues. especially if he hits a little bit more right hand. The problem is when he starts switch hitting, you don't see very much left-handed pitching, so you don't get to hit much.
Del Ortega playing a Triple-A ball from Cuba, working against Chris George with a runner at first base and a big cut on the fastball that he missed. 90-mile-an-hour fastball right there from Chris George. 7 pitches, all strikes so far, thrown by George in the game. As we said, you don't hold back here. They want those radar guns to light up if they're hard throwers. That one in the air towards center. Ludwig coming on, long run to get there. Ryan Ludwig makes the play, and there are 2 down.
Very nice athletic play right there by Ludwig. You saw the speed where he was able to get a good little read and then came hard to get that ball. That's a twinner that, speed is able to cut those balls down, and that's things that they look at, and particularly in a game like this, you get to showcase that.
Well, the guy that the A's people compare him to as an athlete is Paul O'Neill. Now, I don't know if he can quite the athlete O'Neill is. They say he plays with that sort of that same style, Howard.
So in other words, he's going to be slamming some helmets.
Well, I don't know.
Take the game seriously. An off-speed pitch and another strike shown right there by Chris George. As you take a look at Juan Rivera, he has played both Double-A and Triple-A this year. That's the combined. Those are the combined numbers he's put up this season. He is in the Yankee organization, 6th year with the Yankees, and promoted, as you saw, to Triple-A Columbus this season. That's good power.
Gary, it's interesting when the Yankees have minor league prospects that go on. They have such a strength at the big leagues. They don't have to rest them. They get to develop, and they become welcome commodities, as we saw with San Diego making the big trade to get Diego over there, the shortstop.
D'Angelo Jimenez. Oh,
yes.
Yeah. And they can, sometimes we'll see Willie Bone Pena in this game. We've got some other young outfielder. They can keep them down in the lower minors. They can get better numbers. They don't rush them. My feeling is they get to be better players because they get more at-bats and throw more innings in the same level.
Chris George got that on the outside part of the plate. Rivera popping that one up the center. A lot of sunshine. Ludwig out there puts it away. Good inning for George, giving up just the 1 hit. Benneman stranded at first base. Team USA coming up.
Nobody likes numbers. You think of numbers, you think of math, bills, days in the work week. But if you give us a few seconds, we'll show you some numbers you'll love. Start with 1-800-559-3379. That's the number to call for a free auto insurance quote through the Auto Club. Now you're saying the only thing worse than numbers is thinking about auto insurance. But call AAA for your free quote today. We promise to thrill you with numbers like these. We'll start with lots of special discounts, give you our lowest rates in years, and save you up to $500 or more. Doesn't take a math whiz to see it all adds up to big savings, even if you've had tickets or accidents. So call or visit our website today, because for quality insurance at affordable rates, we've got your number. Call 1-800-559-3379. Auto insurance through AAA. Another way, we're always with you.
The moves of Tony Hawk 2, now on Game Boy Advance. Rated everyone to teen.
Welcome back. No score in the middle of the first. I'm joined by Hall of Famer Gaylord Perry. Gaylord, when you were 20, 21, 22, and you now speak to these guys, how do you compare what their mental preparedness is?
Well, they're really prepared. They just showed me this first part of the inning that they're prepared to play this game. They want to play more. We're trying to limit the pitches to 1 inning, but these guys want to go a little more, so they're ready for this game. It's a great honor for them, and they want to do well.
The international game had an impact in your own personal career.
It surely did. In 6-3, I had a terrible year. I was 1-6 with the Giants, and I got a chance to play one ball in the Dominican Republic, and I was 1-6 in the U.S., and I went down there, I was 0-5, and they still kept me in the rotation. I got out of it, and I did well the last half, and I got back in the big leagues and did the way. And my oldest daughter married a doctor from the Dominican Republic, so we got 10 guys over there from the Dominican. It's going to be tough today.
Well, 300 wins and 3,000 strikeouts later, he's in the Hall of Fame, and he's now managing the USA team. Gentlemen.
Put that HOF in front of all the autographs. Here's the starting lineup. There's Cody Ransom, Sean Burroughs, Jason Lane, Adam Dunn with the Reds, Nick Johnson of the Yankees, Joe Borchardt, Ryan Ludwig, Toby Hall, and Chase Utley. We'll give you their teams as we go through it. That's Team USA. And their starting 9. Obviously, we're in the American League ballpark, so the designated hitter rule is being used in this ball game. That's why the pitchers are not being listed. Jae Sao is on the mound in the New York Mets organization.
Well, Jae Sao's meant to come back. He had an elbow operation, missed all of last year, but he's come back. He's combined 7-4 between Port St. Lucie and Binghamton. But I think the most impressive thing, he's 5-1 since going up to Double-A, and his walk-strikeout ratio is 44-10. His fastball isn't back where it was a couple of years ago, but it may get there. But his command is where it was, and is where it was when they signed him.
A lot of times when guys go through injuries, it makes them have to learn the strike zone too. It ends up being a blessing in disguise somewhat, and if he comes back with the good stuff, you never know.
And only 24 years old, and generally noted for great command. Cody Ransom, Triple-A ball with the Giants organization. So misses down low with that, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. See if any of these pitchers get to go more than an inning. He was talking about these guys obviously want to show their stuff, and it's tough to do if you only get one inning of work. 2-2 delivery, breaking ball bounced in the dirt off Mike Rivera, the catcher for the New York Mets in a big-time struggling season. They are taking a long look at their minor leagues to see what's there, and so they hope is going to play an important part in the major league future of a club that needs some pitching right now. 3-2 delivery is taken to right field. Rivera will put it away, and Ransom is retired.
You know, the main thing about this game is you get a good look at Cody Ransom, who really having his best offensive season in the minor leagues, starting to develop. We're seeing two things. The guys are going to develop, and also, Gary, you touched on it, the Mets are really got a close eye on this young man on the mound as we look at their defense out here. So the pitcher, and Pena, the first baseman with the Texas Rangers. These guys, you hear trades, they are the guys that people talk about. They're going to make the difference in a trade.
And a good performance here can up the ante as to what they are worth to the organization.
Well, while that celebrity game was going on, preceding this game,
yes,
I went down through the cage. There's Sean Burroughs in there hitting.
Always, right? Always. And he drills that one to right field, but it'll be a foul ball. Sean Burroughs having yet another great season. Pacific Coast League third in average at .332 coming into this All-Star Futures game.
Well, the power is developing. He has more walks and strikeouts in the minor leagues. He's a tremendous natural hitter, but he works at it. The only reason he's not going to be in San Diego this year is why bother? I mean, why give him service time that makes him a free agent earlier? They're going to wait until the end of the year. Also, there's always the threat of the work stoppage in the offseason, and you don't want a young guy like this to be sitting around during a strike. You want him playing in the minor league.
Good work right there by Jae Sao as he gets Burroughs looking. A strikeout. 2 down.
Well, he talked about the control, Peter. Right here, a good pitch on the inside half and able to paint. That's one thing he's going to have to do. Two things that are important about that pitch. One, it's on the inside, and he put it where he wanted. He kept the ball down, and Jae Sao has got to stay J-low.
He has great control. That'll make him a good major leaguer. I'm not ignoring.
You know you want the guy.
I'm not ignoring your comment. I'm trying to, but with you staring at me, I know that's going to be impossible. Here's Jason Lane, Double-A ball.
What a year this guy's having. I mean, Harold mentioned he was undrafted after his junior year at USC. Went back to the Cape League, struggled a little bit more, but learned. But he's having he's got 28 home runs. His slugging and on-base combined is 1125. He's in the top 5 in every offensive category in the Texas League, including leading in both slugging and on-base. It's this guy. I know Barry Zito's told people they could talk all they want about Eric Munson, who was the 3rd pick in the draft. But when all those guys were at USC, the players all knew that this was the most special player on the team.
And So's not going to pitch to him as the 24-year-old draws a walk. And so the Team USA gets a base runner here with 2 down in the 1st inning.
Well, 90 RBIs in Double-A at this point of the season is absolutely incredible.
Leads all of AAA baseball in that department.
Wait till you see the stats of this next guy.
Talk about home runs. Here's Adam Dunn. You see the homers this guy's put up in the Cincinnati Reds organization. Look at the combined 30 home runs and 80 RBIs at the break.
And what's impressive about that Chattanooga ballpark, that's not a home run field. That was Seattle's AA team when I was coming through there for a long time. You look at Louisville now. But the ball does not carry a whole lot in that league right there, the International League.
Oh, this guy is a great athlete and really was been compared a lot to Larry Walker. He was a quarterback at the University of Texas, and then they brought in Chris Sims, and they said maybe he'd like to play tight end. He says sayonara, and look where he's moved up. He'll be with the Reds probably within 2 weeks after the trading deadline when they move Ochoa and or Dimitri Young. I mean, he's a guy that's going to play in the big league soon. I mean, he is a tremendous athlete, but this guy's playing in the Midwest League, and now he's second in the International League in home runs, and he played the first month of the season in the Southern.
If he had enough at-bats to qualify right now, he would be second with his club at AAA. Good pitch by So, down and away, got him cutting. So a couple of strikeouts for Jae Sao, and one walk. Jason Lane, the only base runner picked up by Team USA. So showing some good pitchers and good location. No score.
Finally, here it is. The 7-Up backpack. Here, Kenny, try it on. Not only does it have our logo, I've loaded it with an entire case of 7-Up. Roll over, Kenny. You're hiding the logo.
Hey, what you kids do to me?
I'd like to make a collect call.
Hey, lady, use your head. Dial 1-800-COLLECT.
Aren't all collect calls the same?
That's just jibber-jabber. 1-800-COLLECT saves at least $1 or $2.
I pity the fool who don't use 1-800-COLLECT. Me too. That's so easy.
Don't even think about it. Use your head. Dial 1-800-COLLECT.
That's 400 years of grime. We clean each layer, gently revealing the original beauty. As an art restorer, I do know a thing or two about stains. That's why I tried new Crest White Strips. It's this thin little strip with the same whitening ingredient dentists use. 30 minutes twice a day. I mean, I still use my whitening toothpaste, but brushing just cleans the surface. Crest White Strips get at stains below the enamel to whiten teeth 10 times better in just 2 weeks. Whiter teeth for at least 6 months. Wow. The difference you see is amazing. With Crest White Strips, I want to tell everyone, hey, check out this smile.
New Crest White Strips. Reveal your wider smile.
You must be hungry. Let's go get some breakfast. Choo, like the Mookos do. Oh, yeah, trusty Wessie. Oopsie, whoopsie. Such a big girl on a swingy wingy. Boo, boo, boo. Is Daddy Waddy home from worky jerky?
When you're in desperate need of a night out, you need Broadway.com and Visa.
How silver. Wonderful use of iambic pentameter. Wameter.
Visa, the preferred card of Broadway.com.
With Harold Reynolds and Peter Gammons, I'm Gary Thorne. Welcome back. This game continues to be one where we see stars' names 1 year here and the next year up at the major league level.
Well, what's impressive is that they are moving through the systems awful quick. And doing a game with Peter Gammons, I just sit back and go ahead, Peter, you know it all. He just pulls it out of his brain and just throws it out there. Unbelievable.
Well, we got a guy, Ben Sheets, who was pitching in this game last year, pitching in the All-Star game on Tuesday night. I think you can argue that Mark Burley certainly deserves to be on the All-Star team. He's pitched well enough for the White Sox. He pitched in this game last year. CC Sabathia, Barry Zito. I mean, this is like the stairway to the stars.
Chris George is going to stay out, so the Kansas City organization member will stay on the mound and get to work as in the first inning. He had a strikeout, gave up 1 single. And Mike Rivera, double-A ball at Erie, will lead it off against him and takes the pitch for a strike.
Mike Rivera, I mean, the Tigers have Brandon Inge, rookie catcher. He's hurt right now. But this guy's had a great year, 27 home runs in Double-A. Talking to Louis Pujols, who's his manager there in Erie, said he's really made great improvement as a catcher, and he can hit the long ball, and he's an interesting guy. I mean, Harold, don't you think most organizations, I know the Tigers love Inge because of his defense and his arm, but don't you think most clubs now would like to have 2 catchers?
Oh, yeah, they definitely would love to have that luxury.
And another strikeout. I'll tell you something, Chris George just firing. They're only going to let him throw 30 pitches in this game. He may not need that many to get through 2 the way he's going right now. Here is Carlos Pena. Power? Yes. Last year? It was the All-Star Futures game then as now, and Carlos Pena got a dinger in it.
I'm prejudiced. This is one of the best people I've ever met, and you talk about baseball junkies. I mean, this winter he flew out to stayed at a house with one of his friends, Spike Lundgren, who lives out in San Diego, just so he could go meet Tony Gwynn and go to a batting cage with him every day for like 10 days. He'll fly anywhere to go talk baseball, work with anyone. And, you know, he's been hurt. He had torn rib muscle. He really struggled for half the season this year in AAA with the for the Rangers. He said this is the first time in his life that he's ever struggled. Don't worry, he'll be playing along with Rafi Palmeiro next year in Texas.
Well, the interesting thing about this young man, you talked about how great of a kid he is. If you spend time around him, you walk away feeling good. And it's great to be around guys like that.
He is a power hitter, only 23 years old, out of the Dominican Republic. And you're seeing Chris George wheel and deal on these left-handers.
Well, one thing you're going to see, Chris George is moving, dropping down, doing different things, but also he has a great advantage when you haven't seen a pitcher before. In a short game like this, a pitcher gets on a roll, he can really dominate like we're seeing Chris George right now.
George on the Olympic team last year. Pena puts that one to center. It's 405 to straightaway center here. Ludwig has a busy day out there, and there are 2 down here in the 2nd inning.
You know, a lot of people have said, well, you know, why haven't the Royals brought Chris George up? They struggle with their pitching, but Howard Baird and Brian Murphy, the people who run that organization, feel, look, let this guy get as many innings as possible in the minor leagues. If they brought him up too early, they'd start, oh, this guy is our savior. You don't want to put that kind of that mantle of pressure on a young pitcher. Let him get a lot of innings, get a lot of wins in the minors, then come up, because he's not going to put the Royals into the playoffs right now anyway.
Felipe Lopez, AA and AAA combined numbers, 278 batting average so far in the season. He puts that one into right field, not deep. Bermuda triangle base hit. He'll make the turn and head to second. Lopez will go in with a stand-up double. Just sliced one down the right field line.
See, in a ball like that, what you look for, not necessarily out of Lopez, but the defenders that went after the ball, you want to look at their foot speed, see how they get reactions, see how they're going to get jumps. Because those are the balls that a lot of times in the big leagues are caught. And those are rally starters, and that's what separates minor league baseball a lot of times from Major League Baseball. It's not necessarily the amount of pitches you get to hit, but it's the range of the defense. That's why averages drop. And that's kind of what's giving you a scout's perspective on what they look at.
Good point, Harold. Something that would kind of be ignored in the just watching the ball game. Here's Cabrera, and he fouls that one back out of Venezuela. Youngster, only 18 years old.
Peter, tell us about him.
Well, he got a big bonus from the Marlins. He's got a lot of skills. He's been playing shortstop in the low minor leagues. But they say he has got tremendous pop in his bat. I believe him. He hit one halfway up in the upper tank in left field in BP, Harold. It's a lot of power for an 18-year-old kid.
He's the designated hitter. I mean, he stopped the show in batting practice. That shot Peter's talking about, if you go out to dead left field, there's a Pepsi sign on the outfield wall. You go up from the Pepsi sign into the deck upstairs. Right there, right straight out, upper deck, about halfway up there in those seats is where he put the baseball.
In that area right there.
That's a shot.
An 18-year-old A-level shortstop. Remind me.
Here's the 0-2 delivery, and that's going to be taken up high in a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Cabrera, the designated hitter. George working his 2nd inning and trying to get through it here without having to be pulled out of there in that pitch count he's on. These players obviously involved with their minor league teams. Some of them have played recently, so what they can do, especially the pitchers, is somewhat limited by when they last appeared. Fouled off by Cabrera.
Well, what I like about George is talking about developing pitching. You know, he loved to talk to Gaylord Perry. Got a chance to talk with Gaylord a little bit today. But the one thing that he's doing is he's using his breaking pitch, using his fastball and his changeup. You get a chance to see an assortment of things, and he's got a fine touch. He's a touch pitcher.
I asked him, you know, because he's been compared so much to Glavine, if the strike zone had affected him. He said, no, they never call the inside strike in the minor leagues anyway, so he just assumed they won't do it.
Well, it's interesting also, you know, that a lot of the young pitchers today, they come up facing aluminum bats, and they have learned to master the outside half of the plate. That's how a lot of young pitchers pitch.
Chris George trying to get out of it. Runner at second base, no score. 2-ball, 2-strike count. And Cabrera takes it in the dirt, 3-2. Nice save by Toby Hall.
Cabrera does look about 10.
Yeah, he's got a little baby face, huh? Great job of blocking that pitch right there, too, by the catcher. But that was a nice changeup, you know. Went down and blocked. Let's look at the defensive work. Just get your body in front of it, keep in front. You know, a lot of minor leaguers spend so much time on fundamentals. Sometimes minor league catchers have better fundamentals than major leaguers because major leaguers get lazy after a while.
Jammed him with that one at first base. Nick Johnson is there and will put it away. So George, a fine job. 2 innings worked here out there in the Pacific Coast League. He's tied for the lead and wins with 9 and gets it done here.
Rio Classics presents Major League, coming July 15th to ESPN Classic.
We were 6 weeks from graduation, the 5 of us. Riding home from the concert in a car with no air. And it hit me. It was the best night of my life. And I kind of wished we could all stay on that train forever.
All right, come on, mister. Focus, stagger your feet. Pick it up, pick it up. Nice.
Great outdoor games presented by Jeep Liberty begin July 26th on ESPN.
Introducing the next great Jeep idea, Jeep Liberty. So incredibly capable, it can take you miles away. And back again. Jeep Liberty.
The forces of nature never stop attacking, but Thompson's Water Seal has never been better. We give you the highest level of water protection available, guaranteed. Thompson's Water Seal, now in clear and 5 natural colors.
Doing more, performing at my best, uses up nutrients.
Centrum Performance helps replace them with more key B vitamins plus ginseng and ginkgo.
It helps energize my mind and body. Life's demanding, but I thrive on it.
Centrum Performance.
The year 2000. Where were you when Sosa slammed Atlanta?
400 on that swing alone.
Gonna be 500.
You can't afford to miss this summer's Slam Fest. The Century 21 Home Run Derby on ESPN. This Monday, 8 p.m.
Greg Vaughn.
Sammy Sosa had a couple of home runs today for the Cubs in a losing cause, getting ready to defend his title. We're at the All-Star Game festivities in Seattle, and a great crowd on hand for our All-Star Futures Game. Team World, Team USA, no score as we go to the second inning. Eat that cotton candy. Carlos Hernandez, the new pitcher. He's with the Houston Astros out of Venezuela.
Leading the Texas League in strikeouts. He struck out 16 in his last start before coming here. Another one of those great arms in the Houston organization, you know, Oswald, Redding, Wade Miller, and another one of their Venezuelan pipeline, well, with Abreu and Hidalgo, and boy, they've had a lot of great players come out of that country.
He takes on Nick Johnson with the Yankees AAA team in Columbus. And the pitch misses up high to him. A 1-ball, 1-strike count. No score here in the second inning.
Well, this guy's a can't-miss big leaguer. You're going to see him with somebody, whether it's in New York next year or somewhere in the big league. Somebody will pick up Nick Johnson. He's a quality player. You see the numbers down right now. One of the most difficult things to do is to be projected to be in the big leagues and then all of a sudden have to go back to AAA and perform. It's tough mentally to get yourself through that.
And Harold, he hasn't played much above 8 ball. I mean, he missed above AA. He missed almost all of last year. He's been dogged by injuries this year, so he just hasn't gotten any pattern. He said he's yet to discover his swing this season. But you're right. If the Yankees make one big deal, he's going to have to be in it, whether it's Jason Giambi or whoever.
Johnson last year missed a season of a strained muscle in his right hand. Very costly for young ball players when you end up out. I mean, it not only puts you back to where you were, it generally sets you back to where you had already come from, and you have to work your way back up again. And that's what Johnson is having to do, what Harold was talking about in the Yankee organization.
Well, it really takes you about 1,000 at-bats to learn yourself, and that's a development that happens in the minor leagues. And anytime you have a setback like that, the work regime is not there. You have to be able to develop. You're going to develop muscles. You're going to change your body. You're going to change physically because you're growing as a young man as it is.
Chopper up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. So Johnson is on, making his second appearance in our All-Star Futures game, and picks up the base hit. We will note during this game a number of players who played both football and baseball.
Well, you know, Joe Borchard played at Stanford when he was a redshirt freshman. Chad Hutchinson, who later, you know, is now in the Cardinals AAA, was the starting quarterback at Stanford. Both went on to play baseball. Both of them played in the College World Series and were great college football players, or very good college football players.
Runner at first base, nobody out in this scoreless game. And that one swung on and missed. He's the designated hitter in this game. Pac-10 record for the longest touchdown pass of 98 yards.
I was talking to Joe before the game, and I asked him, missing football, he said, you know, I wouldn't mind going back and starting this year and being the starting quarterback. But
not going to get that chance, though. Good off-speed delivery.
Well, there was another quarterback from Stanford who played a little baseball named John Elway.
Well, absolutely.
But Joe knows that one of John Elway's wide receivers was Kenny Williams, who's now the general manager of the White Sox, and he's not going to let him go back and play football.
21-year-old Hernandez holding the runner, Nick Johnson, at first. High heat swung on right there. Borchard not getting that one, and he is gone. Alvaro Martin down on the field. Alvaro.
Jae Sao and his interpreter, Young Chen, accompany us. He was 220 pounds after 2 years layoff because of Tommy John surgery, and he had to go to Binghamton to AA, and he had to get in shape fast. And I'm going to ask him, how did he get in shape?
어떻게 네가 살을 다 빼게 됐고 그렇게 된 걸 얘기를 좀 해달라. 일단 제가 몸 상태가 너무 무겁기 때문에 제 남들 운동 열심히 많이 했었고 또 빙햄턴 쪽에서는 또 한국 음식이 없기 때문에 좀 그런 쪽으로 많이 고생도 했었고 그래서 많이 빠진 것 같아요. There was no Korean restaurant in Binghamton, and also he tried to do his best to lose his weight.
All right, Steve Phillips and Bobby Valentine, no restaurants in Binghamton, and you'll be fine. Shinza, gentlemen.
Peter, what does that mean? Shinza. See, you know so much. I'm expecting people. I got to tell you about Peter Gammons. I sit there at ESPN as you see Randy Lovewood coming to the plate here from the Oakland A's, having a big season in AA. But Peter will have a day we call Meet the Commish. And he will sit down and talk to everybody and tell you from big leagues to the rookie season who you will see and who the kid is without notes. I know you speak Korean.
No, I don't speak. I should, because, you know, I'm told that Korea is a
lot like Boston.
The Asian Dominican. I mean, people there are wild about baseball. They're the two, per capita, the two greatest baseball countries in the world. And we're seeing a lot of Korean players come over.
You talk about the world exposure of Major League Baseball. It is phenomenal. I mean, obviously the Japanese influence on the game being felt this year more than ever. And the media coverage, those from Japan, you cannot believe how many follow their stars around on their teams. And at this All-Star game, there will be a contingent. All of the press, I think, from Japan is here.
Well,
all of them.
We have two pitchers from Korea, Sung from the Red Sox and So for the Mets. You know, Hee Choi has played in this game. Jin Ho Choi is playing. Sun Woo Kim played in this.
And he'll be playing. You don't think they're excited here in Seattle? Well, they've just also learned they've got another All-Star. Mike Cameron
has been added.
Greg Vaughn is out. Cameron is on, so it's now Seattle, what? Seattle 8 and the Yankees 7 is our final score?
Yeah.
On the roster?
Unbelievable. It's really
it may not be over yet.
May not be done yet.
We're in the bottom of the ninth.
Here's Toby Hall, the catcher. Runner at first base now, 2 down. A couple of strikeouts in the inning for Carlos Hernandez.
If they want controversy, they've got it now.
Oh, they got
it. 8 and 7, 2 teams.
Hey, Toby Hall is a pretty good story. I mean, he's a guy that would normally be playing for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays at 339, second in the International League. He's improved his catching tremendously. He's a very low walk guy. He makes contact. A lot of things you can do with him. Problem is, they haven't been able to trade either John Flaherty or Mike DeFelice, so they're kind of stuck. And this is the guy they most wanted to promote. They've got Brent Abernathy up there now. They brought up a couple of pitchers, but got to feel badly for this guy. He's earned his way to the big leagues.
Well, you feel bad for him, but you also know that his day is going to come because Tampa Bay is pretty soon going to start unloading those guys and bringing those kids up. I mean, they're at a point now that they have to bring the young guys up and play them.
309 career
absolutely.
batting average, 5 years in the minors. So as Peter says, the numbers he put up have earned him away, but not able to get there. I mean, that's just one of the ongoing realistic problems, the finances of Major League Baseball. When these guys get signed to big contracts and don't produce, you're stuck.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing that happens is the draft, you have no say over where you go. But could you imagine being stuck behind Pudge Rodriguez when he was 19 years old?
You're not going anywhere.
You're not going anywhere for a long time. He ended some careers down there in the minor leagues with some guys.
Toby Hall waiting. Runner at first base is Nick Johnson. That one's going to be fouled off. Remains a 1-ball, 2-strike count with 2 outs.
Actually, last year, not this year, but the year before, Texas's #1 pick was a catcher named Josh Hurd. They think is a tremendous prospect. By the time Josh Hurd gets to the big leagues, I mean, catcher to me takes the longest time because you've got to learn to catch, you've got to learn to call games, you have to learn to be able to use the footwork and hit at the same time. By that time, Pudge will want a few games off.
Carlos Hernandez, the off-speed pitch is going to be fouled off. Trying to get the strikeout as he took something off that pitch on Hall. Hernandez with 2 Ks.
Sorry, Gary. The biggest thing that you have to focus on when you're a minor league player is there are 30 organizations out there. I mean, I want to play for the Houston Astros in the case of our pitcher here, but the main thing is there are 30 teams, and you got to go out, put your numbers up, play the game right, move the man over when you need to, do the things you're supposed to do, and hopefully somebody will pick you up if you're a good ball player. You agree with that, Peter?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I even look at this Houston, you know, they can't really add any money, although they're starting to really come. And to me, they're one of the most dangerous teams in the National League. If they're looking between now and July 31st, if they're looking to add a pitcher, whether it's Woody Williams, who they've talked about, or someone like that, a veteran guy to add to their 3 kids, and Shane Reynolds, this is a guy, I mean, maybe they give him up because they've already got 3 sub-25 starting pitchers in their rotation.
Hall goes up the middle, and he's got a base hit. Johnson will make a turn and stay as Rouen gets it back in. So Hall is second in the International League in average, third in homers and RBIs, delivers here. The base hit puts 2 on with 2 down, and Utley coming up.
Well, he got a change up and just stayed on top of it, drove it back up the middle. When you're hot and you're swinging the bat as good as he has all season, those are the balls you're definitely not gonna miss when you're on a good streak.
Puts 2 on, scoreless game. Each team, Team World, Team USA, with a couple of hits each. And Carlos Hernandez needing the final out here against the #9 hitter, the second baseman, Chase Utley, Philadelphia Phillies organization.
#1 pick in year 2000 out of UCLA.
And he's got a base hit. Rouen coming on the pickup, has got a chance at the plate. The throw, Rivera blocking, can't get him as Johnson slid underneath it and caught home plate with his fingers. And Team USA has got a 1-0 lead on a 2-out RBI by Chase Utley.
Just a great all-around play. Tremendous throw by the center fielder. He got a chance to air it out right there. But the catcher moving up the line, gets himself in position, catches the hop. Talk about fundamental baseball. That's one of the things that you will learn in minor league baseball, to play fundamentals, because you'll have morning workouts. You'll make sure you get the throw down. You'll do the things that you're supposed to do. Nick Johnson reading the catcher well and comes back on the inside half. I'm not a big advocate of head first slides, but right there, that's the situation you do it. But so many things happen in that play that come from development, and if there's some general managers, the farm directors who are looking on right now, they're pretty proud of that play from all three players.
Well, I think it's really helped to Rivera to be playing for a guy like Louis Pujols, who was a good defensive catcher in the big leagues, was Felipe Alou's right-hand guy until he was mysteriously fired in the middle of the 2000 season, and it's just the perfect guy for a young catcher to have at that point in his career when he was kind of being ticketed as sort of a DH type.
There he
Louis
is.
Pujols, really, really good man. And he was signed by Pat Gillick in 1973 in the Houston organization, and he was Felipe Alou's most trusted lieutenant.
I'm telling you, folks, he doesn't even have notes. I mean, it's sickening.
Scary, isn't it?
Well, he's an old friend of mine.
Cody Ransom flied out, runner goes. Here comes the runner to the plate. Ball goes into center field. Mike Rivera will be charged with an error. And Toby Hall scores. With runners at first and third, Utley was running.
Well, Gaylord also realizing that pitchers and catchers haven't played together. The middle infielders haven't played together either. So I'm going to go ahead and put on a little first and third delay. On this play, the runner at third comes down the line, but he never trap looked. And what happened was once the ball bounced and gave him a short hop, sometimes that diverts your attention. See how far down the line the runner at third is. If he comes up and gives him any kind of a trap look, what I mean by that is you kind of glance to third base and then throw to second. He's got the runner nailed at third.
You saw Rivera hesitate. That's one of those things you're in the learning process in. When he looked to second base, he looked to third, looked to second, and sort of hesitated on the throw. And when he did, he ended up off balance and put it out into center field. Utley stayed at second. And Rivera gunned one into center, and coming on to score on making a 2-0 game was Hall. That'll be popped up outside of first, and no play on it. Count stays 2 balls, 2 strikes on Cody Ransom.
Well, Gary, you touched on it, how about something that he'll learn as he continues to learn and develop. The one thing about minor league baseball, I had an instructor, Marty Martinez, who I love dearly, was my infield instructor. But what he would do when he'd come to town, each club has a roving infield instructor, catcher instructor, whoever, and he will sit down and talk to you about situations in the game after he's watched you play 2 or 3 games. And it's great to go over the middle part of the game and learn.
Strikeout there. So Carlos Hernandez, a strikeout pitcher, ends up striking out the side. But a couple of runs scored. There were 3 hits. Error charged. This play at the plate, not quite. Nick Johnson got under the tag.
J.T. Schmitz, such a great place to hang out. At J.T. Schmitz, they're all about good food and good handcrafted beer. There's nothing more relaxing than spending time with your friends or family in our big, beautiful restaurant that caters to your taste. The best thing about J.T. Schmitz is that it's a nice place, but it's really casual. J.T. Schmitz Brewhouse and Eatery. Make it your place.
Who's in town? Here's a clue. It's everyone's favorite puppy, Blue. That's right. The star of Nick Jr.'s Blue's Clues wants to meet you. Climb into the red thinking chair. Meet Blue. Get your picture taken, and maybe even get a hug. Nick Jr.'s Meet Blue is coming to you. Just follow the clues.
Your favorite blue puppy is coming to Orange County. Meet Blue at the shops at Mission Viejo on Saturday, July 21st from 1 to 4 p.m.
But baseball is marking time. This field, this game, it's part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good. Could be again. Oh. People will come, Ray. People will most definitely come.
Baseball Today, Sundays at noon on ESPN2.
Team USA leading the world 2-0. We told you UC Stars in this game that'll be in the major leagues tomorrow. For the Houston Astros, his name is Berkman. He played in the Futures All-Star Game. He's now playing in Houston. He is having a magnificent season. One of the reasons the Houston Astros may just catch the Chicago Cubs in that Central Division.
Wow, he certainly deserves to be here. He's worked very hard. His power is ever developing. I mean, Harold, we see a lot of these guys, their power hasn't developed. Sean Burroughs is an example. But I can remember watching Lance Berkman and play in the Cape League. I don't believe he hit a home run there. Todd Helton played there for 2 years and never hit a home run. It does develop, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It takes a little more time than particularly a pitcher. And it takes a little bit of time. We get a good chance to look at Brett Myers. Pitchers take a little more time to develop because they've got to understand the command, pitching in and out. And power is very similar to that because it's just all about timing and growth.
Don't charge the mound on this guy. He's a former amateur boxer.
Myers on to work. Rouen pops that one up, second base. It'll be played by the right fielder who puts it away. Rouen retired. Jason Lane makes the catch, and let's go down to Alvaro Martin.
Chris George is no stranger to big crowds. He played for the U.S. team and faced Cuba, Australia, and South Korea, I believe, in relief for the U.S. team. But they describe your repertoire as snowflake pitches because no two are alike. What does that mean?
I guess it just means that I mix my pitches well and try not to throw the same pitch twice in a row.
Now, your changeup is specifically known for being extremely effective. How does that work out for you?
I just try to mix it in. Hopefully, it looks a lot like my fastball, and you know, just get guys to swing at it thinking that it's a fastball.
Before the end of the month, the Royals will be here at Safeco Field. Maybe Chris George will join them.
That's the hope. That's the hope of all of these all-stars that you're watching here from the minors. Couple down, bunt attempt, not successful.
Well, the thing is, he tried it though, right? If he puts it in the right spot, if he a little bit more to the right of the first baseman, he might get there. But that's what you do in the minor leagues. A lot of times, minor league baseball, you got to look at development is the key. And numbers can be deceiving because you want guys like that to bunt once a game, you know, learn the craft, do some things.
Amansaga taken out, 2 down. He's thrown 3 pitches and got 2 out so far for Brett Myers.
Well, Amansaga also understands that his job as a leadoff hitter is to get on base. It's not necessarily to be hitting line drives every time. And that's really important. I mean, these young guys, we'll see someone later in the game, Jamal Strong, who's in the Mariners organization, whose on-base capacity is incredible. But that's what these young players are. To me, it's harder to find a great leadoff hitter than to find a cleanup hitter.
And here's a guy you talked about. Maybe he'd be hitting in the 3 spot in the big leagues. We saw him get a base hit right-handed. Now we get a chance to look at him from the left side.
Wilson Benaman of the Atlanta Braves organization puts that one out to left field. Done. Shy of the warning track, will put it away. And Brett Myers, a very strong inning for the Phillies' first-round pick in '99 on the mound, getting it done, retires the side in order. Team USA leads it 2-0.
Mom, Dad, I've been part of this organization for a long time. A team player who takes on extra responsibilities at times when others have fallen down on the job. So I come to you today with a request, not only for greater compensation, but improved financial flexibility.
Just give them a Visa Bucks card, the prepaid spending card from Visa. Put money on it and teens can use it everywhere Visa's accepted. You set the limits, your kids learn about spending responsibly.
Who are you and what have you done with our son?
They say if you want to sell your product, get a cute little dog for your commercial. Here, Buster, best of 7-Up. Oh, Buster's sleepy. Pick you when you wake up, little friend.
This summer,
they set a trap. They actually set a trap.
Universal Pictures brings you closer than you've ever been before.
Nobody move a muscle.
On July 18th.
Head for the tree!
It's not just a walk in the park. Jurassic Park 3, rated PG-13, at theaters Wednesday, July 18th.
That's 400 years of grime. We clean each layer, gently revealing the original beauty. As an art restorer, I do know a thing or two about stains. That's why I tried new Crest White Strips. It's this thin little strip with the same whitening ingredient dentists use. 30 minutes twice a day. I mean, I still use my whitening toothpaste, but brushing just cleans the surface. Crest White Strips get at stains below the enamel to whiten teeth 10 times better in just 2 weeks. Whiter teeth for at least 6 months. Wow. The difference you see is amazing. With Crest White Strips, I want to tell everyone, hey, check out this smile.
New Crest White Strips. Reveal your wider smile.
Team USA with a 2-0 lead over Team World. Some great shots on this beautiful day in Seattle, courtesy of the Budweiser.com airship and its eye-in-the-sky camera. Visit Budweiser.com to track the ship's tour. Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Safeco Field, site of the 2001 All-Star activities. Magnificent new ballpark, and Ricardo Rodriguez, A-ball, Vero Beach, those are the numbers, leads the league with those 10 wins.
And here's Peter. Well, he's a guy with pretty good stuff. He's developing in the Florida State League. Now, the Dodgers think that on the A level, they've got some pretty good pitching. And then this is the guy they think is #1. I think he has a good chance to move up to AA in the middle of this season. And, you know, Harold, you know, I mean, they have some holes in that organization, AA, AAA. They need some young pitchers to come through fast.
And with the injury to Dryford and Ashby, you never know what's going to happen with the big league left.
Burrows going after the first pitch. Rodriguez gets over to cover. Carlos Pena made the flip. One away. Burrows retired. Let's take you back in family history, Peter.
Well, Long Beach Little League. And this is actually before the team. But there's Father Jeff, Coach Scott, who's now at law school at Notre Dame, and Sean Burrows, and their other teammate, Chase Utley. Pretty good.
It's a pretty good group.
Yeah, pretty good team for a Little League team.
Well, of course, it was a couple of years later that Sean Burrows led that team to the Little League World Series. He told me he played in front of 40,000, so what the heck? No pressure playing in the minor leagues.
Lane pops that one up into foul territory. Pena will put it away. Lane, who had walked his first time up, and quickly 2 down here in the 3rd inning. 2 pitches and 2 outs from Ricardo Rodriguez.
Watching Rodriguez warm up, he's got a motion. You always try to look for somebody that reminds you of another player. He reminds me a lot of Jose Mesa. He gives you that nice little arm.
Minnie Minoso's got to take him out of the game. Ricardo Rodriguez. Well, get to throw 2 pitches. You take advantage of it. He did. He got 2 outs.
What's going on?
Is technology simplified?
What's going on?
Is a great selection of brand name products, services, and cool gifts?
What's going on?
Is helpful experts ready to answer your questions?
What's going on?
Is over 7,000 Radio Shack stores across America?
What's going on?
Is that now we do installations?
What's going on?
Is Radio Shack connecting you to?
What's going on? Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on. What's going on?
Quick question. They all have the same body. They all have the same skill. Who's going to win? Answer, the one who decides. Myoflex ready-to-drink shakes from EAS. Now available with less than 4 grams of carbs.
Right now, save 20% on all EAS sports products. Only at GNC.
Hey, what you kids do to me?
I'd like to make a collect call.
Hey, lady, use your head. Dial 1-800-COLLECT.
Aren't all collect calls the same?
That's just jibber-jabber. 1-800-COLLECT saves at least $1 or $2.
I pity the fool who don't use 1-800-COLLECT. Me too. That's so easy.
Don't even think about it. Use your head. Dial 1-800-COLLECT.
When people say you're bright, they mean you've got a lot going on up there. It's not something people who use drugs hear much, because over time, drugs can change their brain. And the more times they try drugs, the more they want them. It's called addiction, and it's a disease that will waste your brain. Do the right thing. Do the bright thing. Keep your brain healthy. Don't use drugs.
Ferry boats that takes people to the islands that surround Seattle. A commuter boat, if you will. Team USA leading it by a score of 2-0. Even though the big leaguers have the night off, we have baseball for you on Wednesday night. The AAA All-Star game from Indianapolis. You'll have a second chance to take a look at Sean Burrows, Adam Dunn, Toby Hall, and others. Join Bob Carpenter, Tom Candiotti. They'll have the call Wednesday, 8 Eastern, ESPN2. And for more, log on to baseball coverage at ESPN.com. Obviously an open roof on a beautiful day. This is Juan Pena Oakland A's out of the Dominican Republic, 22 years old. On in relief and foul back by Adam Dunn.
Remember, those numbers are run up in Midland, Texas, which is one of the great hitters' ballparks in all the minor leagues. So there's another left-hander who pitched for Midland, named Mario Ramos, who went to Rice. Shot through 9-1 and is 2-0 already in AAA, or maybe with the A's by the end of the year. He's not a hard thrower like this, but Harold, you know that Texas League. Anybody can go 9-1 with an ERA of about 2, and that pitches in that ballpark.
Well, you're doing something big time. The ball. Every year, traditionally, they put up big numbers.
Whoa, what a shot way back in right field. A home run hitter done. And goodbye home run. Adam Dunn, who leads the world in homers, puts a huge towering shot down the right field line. Whoa, did he get that one?
Well, he got all of that one. Nice little plexiglass blast. Well, Peter, you're talking about his power the first time he was up.
Well, he's such a good athlete. I mean, his hand-eye coordination is really good. He actually runs. I mean, he's a little bit like Larry Walker in that he's big but can still run, but the bat speed he generates.
Well, I was going to comment about how he has a spread-out stance, very short stroke. Look at the follow-through. Beautiful swing.
30 home runs for him with 2 ball clubs in the minors coming to the break, and 80 RBIs, and that one right down the line and out of here.
I don't know why you would do that.
So Adam Dunn shows you what he does. Hits home runs. Dunn did.
Yes, he did, and he done it off a lefty. You know, that's the thing that I like, is that as they allow guys to hit lefty on lefty, throw that garbage out, especially in the minor leagues. Let them go ahead and develop, let hitters be themselves, and Dunn's a perfect example of that.
So a 3-0 lead for Team USA is Dunn.
6'6", 235.
He looks like a home run hitter, and is. Nick Johnson at the plate. He had a single and scored in the second inning. 3 runs, 4 hits, Team USA. No runs, 2 hits for Team World.
And you're wondering why Minnie Minoso took Rodriguez out of the game. He's just trying to get everybody in. It wasn't necessarily trying to match up lefty against lefty.
No, all of these players obviously want to get a shot at it. It's tough to get all the pitchers in particular into the game, but they've gotten it done. Minnie Minoso, that's a true statement right there. His first at bat, May 4, 1949, and he kept playing to get decades piled up to say he appeared in decade after decade of baseball.
When was his last at bat? In the
40s,
80s, right?
50s, 60s, 70s, 80s.
Incredible.
2-2 count. And then he would have gone on into the 90s if some team had been willing to give him a chance. He would have.
He'd try to get out here today.
That's right. He'd be doing it in 2000. Johnson with 2 down and nobody on, and a 3-ball, 2-strike count from Juan Pena on the mound in relief. Full count delivery, and that'll be taken down low. Walk surrendered with 2 away, keeps the inning alive. It's one thing they don't want to do here, issue walks. Dunn's downstairs and Alvaro's with him.
Home run man Adam Dunn. You've been working a lot with Brooks Jacoby. What are you working on?
Just trying to stay behind the ball and put a little backspin on it. I've been getting a lot of topspin, and the ball hadn't been carrying well, so I'm trying to work on getting backspin.
And still with your size, you can play left field, and you've even played center field. Are you working very hard also on your routes?
Yeah, I am. I wasn't a very good outfielder, and that's something I'm trying to work on and improve. So yeah, we're out there every day working on it.
He had a contractual ability to go play in the majors in September of '99. He turned it down. He said, I haven't paid my dues. I've seen a lot of minor leaguers who haven't earned them yet. I haven't either. I'm not going yet.
He keeps hitting the ball like that. He'll be going soon enough.
Yeah, that just shows you a lot about the character of the young man, too. You got to have character, and that's another thing of developing the minor leagues, the character and understanding yourself and turning that down. Who turns down an opportunity to go to the big leagues, even when it's contractual? I know a lot of agents that try to put that in there.
And it's hard. I mean, there are a lot of kids who were great high school quarterbacks, went to baseball, but Dunn didn't give it up. But, guys like Quincy Carter and Chris Wenke, Josh Booty have gone back. Corey Jenkins, who may be playing at South Carolina this year. The number 1 pick in Boston.
Ruan up with it. Runners on at first and second base now. Bill Borchardt comes through as the DH.
It's different in baseball. I mean, these kids are used to playing in front of, you know, like both Joe and Adam were saying, they were used to playing for 75, 80,000 on the weekends. You know, they're playing in the instructional league in front of 3 people, and they're playing in the A-ball sometimes in front of about 2,000.
Playing in front of a good house here today at Safeco Field. Big crowd on hand to see this All-Star Futures game. 2 on, 2 down as Juan Pena struggles to get the final out here. Ryan Ludwig, the center fielder, was a strikeout victim his first time up. He's got an RBI opportunity. 3 runs, 5 hits for Team USA so far. And runners at first and second, Johnson and Borchardt. And the pitch is taken, 2-0.
And you see Pena struggling a little bit. And talking about the development of pitchers, he's faced AAA hitters. Dunn was a AAA hitter. Fortune AA, moving on through, had a lot of college experience, facing older guys in this game. So he'll take that away from him, also be able to try to apply it to his game. But those are the things that you start to rush young guys into situations, they get hammered, that confidence goes away. It's okay in a situation like this where it's 1 game, but can you imagine it being an everyday situation like that?
He buries that one for the wild pitch. As Mike Rivera had to chase it down, it'll move runners up into scoring position. Johnson goes to third. Borchardt goes down to second base. Juan Pena, needing an out here, falls behind 3-0 on Ludwig. And I think for the very reasons that Harold Reynolds was talking about, he can throw a good fastball, but it's not overpowering. He's a command pitcher. And he's looking for a pitch here to get some of these older, more established hitters out with because they're not biting on pitches out of the strike zone. 3-0 delivery here and a green light. Hit in the air to left center field. Ruan backing up in center. That ball tailed back to him, but he put it away. Another run added here. A run picked up on a couple of hits. 2 are left on base. It's Adam Dunn igniting the crowd with a shot down the right field line for a homer.
Now on Discovery Health Channel.
Take a closer look
At the compelling drama of everyday medicine.
A closer look
At real-life heroes in action.
And at the incredible will to prevail.
Every experience, every person I meet gives me a little gift.
Take a closer look.
Real stories.
Real people.
Real medicine.
Only on Discovery Health Channel.
Meet the WUSA San Diego Spirit, including Julie Foudy, Sunday, July 22nd at 2 p.m. at Laguna Hills Mall.
Surprising new discoveries. Amazing new species. You never know what you'll find in your own backyard. When dinosaurs roamed America. Next Sunday, July 15th at 8 Eastern and Pacific on the Discovery Channel. Closer than you think.
Tonight on ESPN Classic.
Buongiorno!
They were 4 guys going nowhere until a dream put them on the road to glory. Dennis Quaid and Daniel Stern star in an Oscar-nominated real classic, Breaking Away. Tonight at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, only on ESPN Classic. To get real, call 1-800-CLASSIC today.
Team USA with a 3-0 lead over Team World here in our Futures All-Star Game, and the Executive Vice President of Baseball Operations for Major League Baseball, Sandy Alderson, is joining us here in the booth as we go to the top of the 4th inning. Sandy, always great to see you. I mean, it's somewhat of a coincidence, but what a great thing for Major League Baseball to have the All-Star Game in this city at this time in this park with the team they've got and the excitement they've got going.
You can tell just by the crowd who's here, that's here today, how enthusiastic they are as baseball fans and obviously as supporters of the Mariners. But it's been a great feel here in Seattle over the last several days. They've really got some tremendous fans here.
And they're enjoying this one. That was the softball question right there. Now we're going to nail you. You ready? Bill Ortega leading it off as Brett Myers will remain on the mound, and the pitch is outside. Negotiations. Lockout, strike. Lockout, strike. Lockout, strike. What do you think?
Well, first of all, I think you're talking to the wrong person. the negotiations are taking place. They're being conducted, I think, by Paul Beeston and Rob Manfred, and under the direction of the commissioner. And you know, I think we will know shortly sort of where we are. But you know, I still remain optimistic that from the standpoint of both sides, there's an interest in keeping this kind of enthusiasm alive into next season and beyond.
Sandy, kind of talk to us about the vision of this game here. It's incredible. A few years ago, there was no futures game, and what Major League Baseball is doing to get the exposure to these young guys.
Well, I think there are a couple of things going on. I think, first of all, just in terms of this event, it was a great addition to the game and to the home run derby, and kind of rounded out the week of activity. More importantly, this is a great showcase for the young players, and obviously many of you are familiar with these young players, but so many around the country don't get a chance to see them on an everyday basis, and this begins to give them some exposure. The other thing that I'm really interested in is the international aspect of the game, because I can remember last year at this time watching this game, but also meeting in Atlanta to talk about the Olympic team and the Olympic competition, and there's so much going on internationally now that this game begins to highlight that as well.
I mean, how important to it with all your international development is it to have the game in Seattle and have Ichiro be such a focus and be such an important part of this game?
Well, there's no question that the development of the game internationally goes on at different levels. At the very highest level, it's incredibly important for a player like Ichiro with his kind of profile and popularity to extend the game, and the Major League game in particular, into Asia and other places. But the game also goes on at the developmental level. It's very important for us to have a diverse group of players here, representing players from many countries as well as many different parts of the world. It's just as important for us to have players here from the Caribbean, for example, but it's also very important to have players here from Italy and Australia and other parts of the world.
Sandy, it's so amazing being a former Mariner myself and battling you when you were the Oakland A's general manager. Are you surprised that the Mariners' 8 All-Stars and the success of this organization now?
Well, you know, they've had great success really since that run in the early 90s when they got the ballpark built. There's no question that having a ballpark of this quality does a lot to engender that enthusiasm, but at the same time they've put together some outstanding teams. And you know, when a guy like Pat Gillick comes here, wants to come here, ends up here, and has done as well with the team as he has in the absence of some of the great stars in the game who've gone elsewhere, it's testimony to what good management can do, and I think to the sophistication of these fans who've continued to support the team in the absence of an A-Rod or Randy Johnson. So it's really a terrific story here.
Sandy, at this point of the season, on a grade base, how would you grade Major League Baseball's attempts to make the strike zone universal?
I think I'd give us maybe a B- at this point. I think what we've succeeded in doing is changing the expectations that people have about the strike zone and what it ought to be ideally. The implementation of that ideal takes a little bit longer. Guys have been umpiring and calling strikes in a particular way for a long time. So I think there's more to be done in the way of consistency. I think there's a lot more that we can do with the strike zone up and down, but we're working on it very hard, as are the umpires. We've got nothing but cooperation from them, and I fully believe that by the end of this season you'll see the high-low strike firmly and consistently applied. Can that be done without the outside chest protector? I think so. There's a lot said about mechanics. And again, I'm not an expert on umpire mechanics, just as I was never an expert on hitting or pitching mechanics. But I believe in the end result, and I think what we've told guys is, look, you can do it any way you want to. You can take whatever posture you want. You can get whatever angle you want. But it's a matter of making the adjustments and getting the calls right. And I think with the technology that we have now and focusing on the results, that it certainly can be accomplished. For example, the low strike. It's a matter of just calling that strike. I don't think it's a matter of seeing it or not seeing it. I think it's a matter of calling it. On the inside part of the plate, there might be a little bit mechanically there with the the catcher involved and not being able to see that pitch consistently. But the umpires have been working on that as well. So I think it's just a matter of repetition, and that we'll see it firmly established by the end of the season. I think I really think we've made great progress so far.
2 down here, and you saw the base hit by Mike Rivera, and that's hit number 3 for the World team. Carlos Pena coming up here with 2 down against Brent Myers, trying to work his way out of the inning. Are we going to see more baseball overseas, games that count in the season?
Well, I think so. You know, we've certainly opened Japan. I was just talking to someone downstairs about the possibility of opening in the Dominican Republic. I think very definitely that the trend is going to be toward more games rather than fewer. We've seen that most places can support them on a short-term basis for a 2 or 3 game series, and I think we've been aggressive in trying to schedule them. So I think we'll see more and more of them.
All right. Sandy Alderson, thanks very much for joining us. Always great to see you. Continued good luck on this Major League season. Right back to Seattle.
That's 400 years of grime. We clean each layer, gently revealing the original beauty. As an art restorer, I do know a thing or two about stains. That's why I tried new Crest White Strips. It's this thin little strip with the same whitening ingredient dentists use. 30 minutes twice a day. I mean, I still use my whitening toothpaste, but brushing just cleans the surface. Crest White Strips get at stains below the enamel to whiten teeth 10 times better in just 2 weeks. Whiter teeth for at least 6 months. Wow. The difference you see is amazing. With Crest White Strips, I want to tell everyone, hey, check out this smile.
New Crest White Strips. Reveal your wider smile.
The horror of Castlevania. The moves of Tony Hawk 2, now on Game Boy Advance. Rated everyone to teen.
You must be hungry. Let's go get some breakfast. Sure, like the Mookos do. Oh, yeah, trusty Wessie. Oopsie, whoopsie. Such a big girl on a swingy wingy. Poo, poo, poo. Is Daddy Waddy home from worky jerky?
When you're in desperate need of a night out, you need Broadway.com and Visa.
How silver. Wonderful use of iambic pentameter. Wameter.
Visa, the preferred card of Broadway.com.
Kit Kat, Big Cat. Thicker, bigger, crunchier. Is your mouth ready?
All-Star Futures game, Safeco Field in Atlanta. Team USA up 3-0, a 7-inning ball game going to the bottom of the 4th. Stars you'll see at the major league level. If you don't believe us, take a look here. Brad Penny, one of the reasons the Florida Marlins are a real danger in the National League East. He played in a Futures All-Star game. Now he's striking them out at the major league level.
He's a solid starter, tough guy. You know, with Penny and Dempster, they've got tremendous. And A.J. Burnett has got the best of any of them. And a kid named Josh Beckett, who we saw in the Futures game last year. He's now pitching in Double-A in Portland, Maine now. He'll probably be in their rotation next year. Hell, that Marlins team, wherever they play in the future, should be pretty damn good.
Wherever is the big key. They're going to be down tonight.
We're going to get a new pitcher on the mound is Juan Cruz for Team World.
This guy can bring it. Last outing, Scott Chase and his teammate was telling me, 1 inning, 8 runs. He's ready to bring it today.
Cruz with a 7-2 mark in the minors starts out with a breaking ball that catches the inside corner. Toby Hall, the catcher, is at the plate. And some whip arm pitchers that we've seen so far in this game. And he's one of them. Foul back.
He's one of the post-Pedro generation. These Dominican pitchers with slighter frame, great arm speed.
Well, it's interesting. I was talking with Goose Gossage yesterday. I ran into Goose, and he was talking about the front arm, the left arm, how much leverage a pitcher gets out of that left arm. You can see how he pulls his arm through and you thrust your body. Two things that happen is deception and also how it pulls your body forward. If you were to just put your arm up against your leg and try to throw it one arm, you don't get any leverage. But if you pull the other arm through, and that's what a lot of these pitchers do. Pedro, this young man right here, they pull that left arm through and it gives them a lot of leverage and drive.
Talk to old-time pitchers. The danger they'd note on that kind of a delivery is the damage done to your arm because you're not throwing much with your legs. But boy, that for young pitchers who have solid arms and shoulders, at least at this point in their careers, you can generate some big-time heat.
98 strikeouts and 80 2/3 innings. And he's one of the crown jewels of that Cubs organization. They've had a lot of injuries to that Double-A club in Tennessee. But Bobby Hill and Lee Choi have been hurt.
That breaking ball again, a little slurve pitch that's got some pretty good movement on right-handers. Oh. And Garcia, who just came in to play at first base, can't handle that one. Luis Garcia off the end of the glove.
Well, he's got every one of his teammates watching this game dogging him when he gets back.
You're
Count on
heartless.
that. I'm just telling the truth.
Yes, you are.
When he gets back to Trenton, you think you'll hear something?
The Red Sox organization, that's where Garcia plays, Trenton.
See, the one thing he did there is he didn't open his glove until late. Watch how late he opens up his glove and he doesn't have a whole lot of area to get into. That's one of the toughest things to do while catching a fly ball is open your glove early and let it sit there because the hand will get tired. But that's one thing that you got to do.
Small things that make a difference. Garcia, keep that baby open. So life at the plate. Error charged, and Toby Hall continues his at-bat and drills it to left field. Nobody feels worse than Garcia. Goodbye home run. Toby Hall, 2 for 2 in the ball game, took advantage of a light at the plate.
Well, he talked about Toby Hall's experiences his 5th year in the minor leagues. He jumped on a nice breaking pitch, and doesn't that always happen? The guy drops the ball, makes a mistake, and the pitcher extends his inning, and as Peter would say, boom, it's gone.
Except for one time. Remember one time Don Baylor dropped a pop foul, Roger Clemens got a strikeout, and they were able to get 20 strikeouts in a game.
16 home runs playing at Durham so far, and he gets one here in the Futures All-Star game. He launched that one. That one hit in the air by Utley deep to right field. Warning track and wall, and goodbye home run Utley. Back-to-back on back-to-back pitches. Chase Utley's 2 for 2. His second RBI, and he gets the homer.
Now here's what's interesting about Safeco Field. You're sitting at home going, well, I thought this was a pitcher-friendly park. The first initial season it was here, actually the first half season, they had the Kingdome up. And when they knocked the Kingdome down, all of a sudden the ball started carrying. And this isn't as much a pitcher's park as it used to be. Not to take anything away from Utley. This is a nice stroke right here, Peter.
A very good stroke. He and a guy named Garrett Atkins played together at UCLA. 2 terrific hitters. Atkins, in fact, is leading the A-League in hitting as well. But
Utley's your number 9 hitter, the second baseman. He's got 11 home runs of the minors and a very tough outing here for Juan Cruz. There's Utley, who delivered the dinger, and he put that one into the first couple of rows out there in right center, about 385 to get to the wall where he hit that ball. So it is a 5-0 lead for Team USA.
Well, I was thinking about how the teams are split up, USA and World. The World team is obviously going to be a lot younger. This U.S. team, you got guys that played in the Olympics, you have college players. They're a lot older and mature team than the young guys that are still developing. And when we talk about young players being American-born, we're talking about guys that are 19, 20, 23 years old. Dominicans, sometimes, as we looked at the first baseman, that third baseman for a second there in Wilson Penemy, is the fact that this guy, they're all so young.
Leo Garcia, the Red Sox changed in his 2nd year in professional baseball in the United States. He played in the Dominican Summer League, the Mexican Summer League when he was a teenager, but I mean, he's only played a year and a half in the minor leagues.
And a 2-ball, 1-strike count here. Still nobody out in the inning on the back-to-back home runs that have given Team USA a 5-0 lead. And Juan Cruz settles down a little bit here to take the count to 2-2 on Cody Ransom, who's 0 for 2 in the game. Young pitcher, older players. Harold pointed that out before. Foul back. You come into a ball game like this, you're used to being able to blow people away maybe. Suddenly you get up against guys who've got a little more experience, a little older, and they nail those same pitches for homers.
That's the biggest difference in climbing through the ranks is the pitches that you start to see. You'll see more sliders, you'll see more changeups, and you'll understand situations that guys throw them in.
He had a double clutch on that one. Ruan coming on will make the play. Home run hitters downstairs, and let's check in with Alvaro Martin.
Of the back-to-back form, Chase Utley, Toby Hall. Let's start with Toby. Toby, you really started catching late in your career.
Yeah, right when I signed, I started catching, learning how to do it. You know, went to big league camp and, you know, worked with Orlando Gomez and John Flaherty and those guys like that. And now I've been lucky the last 2 years be with Pat Borders, and he's taught me a lot.
And Chase, you went right after him. He worked the count 3-2. You saw the first pitch. You went after it.
Yeah, I didn't really want to get behind right there.
For someone who grew up in California, the transition to Florida and the heat has been very tough this year.
It has. It's an adjustment, but it has to be made.
One more thing, he wants to get that picture of Long Beach and get those negatives and burn them.
Oh, man.
Whoa. Here's Hank Blaylock, pinch hitting. Blaylock with the Rangers, a third-round pick in '99. And he's getting the opportunity as Burroughs has come out of the ballgame.
This guy's the leading hitter in the minor leagues, period. He's hitting between A-ball and AA. I'm AA. 376. Amazing plate coverage.
He's got some bat speed, too. Does a ball in the inside half right there. He yanked toward the first base side, but, man, he's got some quick hands.
He's only 20 years old.
I mean, he has shot through this organization. To be hitting in AA at this point.
He hit the cycle not once, but twice in a 3-day span. The first player in modern-day minor league history to do that. To hit for the cycle in not once, but twice in 3 days. I mean, a lot of that is, one, you got to have the luck to get those right shots, but two, you got to have the talent to be able to get that many hits, which obviously he does. Laid the bat on that one. Juan Ruan in center field will put it away, and there are 2 down. Blaylock is retired. So 2 outs. Juan Cruz settles in. Part of what a scout will look at in this situation, I would think. Cruz coming up, couple of pitches, home runs off him, stays in and gets 2 outs. Comes back, settles down, makes some pretty good pitches. Minnie Minoso is going to take him out here, but he's got to feel a little better about himself than he did for those first 2 shots. Toby Hall, Chase Utley got the homers off him. Juan Cruz out.
Finally, here it is. The 7-Up backpack. Here, Kenny, try it on. Not only does it have our logo, I've loaded it with an entire case of 7-Up. Roll over, Kenny. You're hiding the logo.
Put the food down, walk away, nobody gets hurt.
Let's get him! I got him!
Think you're tough enough to drive a Tacoma? Join the club. Introducing the double cab with over 5 feet of bed length.
You just can't mess with a man's salad. Word up. Doing more, performing at my best, uses up nutrients.
Centrum Performance helps replace them with more key B vitamins plus ginseng and ginkgo.
It helps energize my mind and body. Life's demanding, but I thrive on it.
Centrum Performance. Life demands it.
Hey, what you kids do to me?
I'd like to make a collect call.
Hey, lady, use your head.
Dial 1-800-COLLECT.
Aren't all collect calls the same?
That's just jibber-jabber. 1-800-COLLECT saves at least $1 or $2.
I pity the fool who don't use 1-800-COLLECT. Me too. That's so easy.
Don't even think about it. Use your head. Dial 1-800-COLLECT.
A 5-0 lead, Team USA in our Radio Shack All-Star Futures game. And a reminder, baseball to come. Sunday Night Baseball presented by Nextel. The Subway's the place, New York's the city. Mets going to the Bronx. Last game of this series and before the All-Star break. Don't forget another chance to take a look at the new K-Zone feature, an accurate system reflecting three-dimensional strike zones. That's coming up during replays tonight. John Miller, Joe Morgan will be there. For more, log on ESPN.com. Heck of a ball game yesterday. Zip to the 10th. Piazza won it, so it's a rubber match in that series coming up on Sunday Night Baseball. Jose Valverde on in relief from the Diamondbacks organization out of the Dominican Republic, a 21-year-old. Watch this delivery. I was talking about whip arms. He was warming up. I thought his arm was going to end up here in the press box.
Well, maybe there's some way he doesn't put pressure on his arm, but it looks like with that violent recoil.
Well, I thought the one thing that was interesting is his back leg. He almost stops it instead of bringing the leg through, so you don't really get that true follow-through. It's a slingshot, as you were saying earlier, Gary.
Oof. Jason Lane up there, a walk, and has popped out. Lane takes it outside.
To his credit, this is a guy that was 3-10 before this year. This year he's averaging almost 16 strikeouts per 9 innings pitched. He's blossomed to 21. He's obviously grown a lot physically.
Mid-90s fastball and a slider. There's the heater inside. And as we said, only 21. Scouting reports on him have said in the past the problem's been control. When you see the motion, you can understand why.
Well, watch this delivery here. He's going to fly all over the place, and then, yeah, that was 90.
Down to third. And that will take care of it. Garcia at first able to hang on to that one. And we'll go to the 5th inning with Team USA shutting out the world 5-0.
Michael is a natural-born athlete, whether it's billiards or basketball.
One-hander. Always get the one-hander.
He's right on target. In fact, the high school junior is a standout at track and field, and he can bench press with the best of them.
I guess I was told that I'm like naturally strong and stuff.
But the 16-year-old is also a gentle giant. The soft-spoken young man has lived in group homes most of his life.
Sometimes you get used to not being with the family, stuff like that, because you've been in for so long.
But it's time for you.
Yeah.
He tells me he'd love to be somebody's big brother, and he's already a great teacher.
Shoot like.
Even humoring a klutz like me when we hung out at Dave & Buster's. Now all he needs is you.
Make a difference in the life of a child. Be an adoptive parent. Call 1-877. Kids are great.
It's gonna be a good one.
Great outdoor games presented by Jeep Liberty begin July 26th on ESPN.
Sunday night in the Bronx, Mets-Yankees. The big crowd in the big ballpark. It will be wild.
Put yourself in the batter's box with ESPN's K-Zone. Mets-Yankees Sunday Night Baseball presented by Nextel. 8 o'clock tonight, only on ESPN.
Team USA with a shutout going 5-0 out hitting Team World 7-3. One of the names here in our All-Star Futures game previously, Barry Zito, Oakland A's organization for Team USA, appeared in this All-Star game. And now for the Oakland A's, that one coming up against the Yankees. Zito, a factor. There you see the Futures game alum numbers for Barry Zito.
And those are all put up after that performance last year. He pitched in that game, and about 2 weeks later was in Oakland, and he was a huge factor in there going all the way in the playoffs and going to 5th game of a 5-game playoff with the Yankees. And if the A's have been able to have Hudson and Zito ready the way the Yankees had their pitching line, I don't think the Yankees ever would have won another World Series.
So there, Harold, take that.
I will do that. Development of the young guys. Peter talking about a couple of young guns. But
Dennis Tankersley of the Padres organization, 22 years old, on in relief. His numbers combined A and AA ball this year.
This is a guy last year was stuck in relief in Augusta, the Red Sox lowest farm club. The Red Sox needed Ed Sprague, so they got him. They gave him a young infielder, and so they needed a throw-in the deal. They got Dennis Tankersley. Look at those numbers right now. Very well, could be on a line to be the minor league player of the year. And the Red Sox had no idea he threw so hard. Last start, 98. He topped out at it.
How do you miss that?
I don't know.
How do you not have an idea?
Nobody wanted to go there to scout, I guess. Felipe Lopez is up. Lopez doubled his first time up. One of the 3 hits Team World has picked up in this game. Bottom third of the order, Cabrera and Ruan due up in the inning. Felipe Lopez out of Puerto Rico, Blue Jays organization, and fooled on an off-speed pitch right there. Foul tipped, 1-2.
Tremendous changeup right here. And that was awesome. And what made it so great was the arm motion. Now you get a good look at a mass cam.
1-2 delivery. Owen misses down low. 2 ball, 2 strike count from Tankersley.
Padres are loaded with young pitchers. And I'm kidding named Jake Peavy, Ben Howard.
Chased it. Lopez is retired, and there's one away here in the 5th inning. Flying high above Safeco Field. Budweiser.com airship. These live shots 1,000 feet above Seattle. Baseball fans, this Bud's for you.
Is that named after Harold Reynolds? I mean, Harold, you in Seattle, it's kind of like you two in Dublin.
Well, it's been nice to come back. The people have treated me great here in Seattle, no doubt. But I don't know if I can compare to you two. That's pretty heavy company.
That's a heavy concert tour you're on right now. You haven't stopped since you got here. Miguel Cabrera, A-ball numbers. Swung on a miss on a breaking ball. He popped out his first time up.
Love this guy's delivery, Harold.
Well, he's got a very hidden he hides the ball a long time. Nice delivery. But I think, again, we're seeing the advantage of the U.S. team taking advantage of the younger players. Right here, the pitcher obviously keeping the off-speed, breaking balls that this young player has never seen before.
Yeah, you're talking about a guy dominating Double-A against a guy playing in the Midwest League. Although Tankersley came out of the California League this year and was pitching in the South Atlantic League at this time last year.
Tankersley showing what he's got. Let's get downstairs to Alvaro Martin.
From El Ceibo in the Dominican Republic, just outside of San Pedro de Macorís, José Valverde. When did you start playing baseball and when did you first start taking baseball seriously? ¿Cuándo fue que empezaste a jugar béisbol y cuándo fue que empezaste a tomarlo en serio?
Bueno, comencé a los 14 años y el año pasado fue que comencé a coger el béisbol en serio. Nunca, al contrario, me gustaba el béisbol. Me gustaba solamente el boxeo.
He was a big boxing fan. He started playing when he was 14 only. He started really taking it seriously last year. Hubo mucha discusión sobre tu manera de lanzar al plato. ¿Qué te ha dicho la organización sobre el tema? There's a lot of discussion about his motion up in the booth. What does the organization tell him about the way he throws to the plate?
Nunca me han dicho nada de eso. Al contrario, a ellos les gustaba tanto como yo picho. Porque como la forma de como yo muevo el pie, muevo todo. Dicen que los bateadores me tienen miedo con eso.
He says they told him not to change a thing. The batters are intimidated with all that arm and leg motion. Gentlemen.
As long as that arm stays strong, they'll continue to be intimidated. Little blooper off the end of the bat. Ransom makes the play not in time. Good speed shown right there. And Juan Ruan is on with an infield base hit with 2 down here in the 5th inning.
Well, as soon as that ball left the bat, you knew this was going to be a base hit. Ruan, one of the faster guys in the minor leagues, flat out flying down the line. It's a nice job by the shortstop to get this ball and get rid of it, but there really is no play at all in this.
He'll let you know.
He's going to let us know.
Good call by Ruan. He was absolutely right, so he's on at first base. And Ruan may try and go. He's got 27 stolen bases between A-ball and Double-A ball as Angel Baroa comes to the plate. Baroa getting his first chance as he came on to play it short and almost caught him leaning on his way to second base.
Well, that three-way deal this winter with Ben Grieve going to Tampa, Roberto Hernandez to Kansas City, and Johnny Damon to Oakland hasn't worked out too well, but this guy was the shortstop Oakland gave to Kansas City in that deal. A very key element of the trade, Harold. I mean, you know, he's got a pretty good arm. He's a good fielder. He's still got to learn some plate discipline, but you're looking at a young kid who's got a .470 slugging percentage. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I was watching him take ground balls today. He's got nice fundamentals, good soft hands. You can always work with that and develop it. But Oakland was able to make that move because they have a guy in Miguel Tejada. And again, we continue to stress the point how important this game is, because these are pieces of the puzzle that will make organizations go to that next level.
Baroja working here against Tankersley, who got the first couple of outs easily, then the infield hit. And Baroja now with a 1-1 count. And he got jammed on it and popped it up down the line, third base. Blaylock, third baseman, Ransom shortstop, and neither will have a play.
And you can see an example of the power that Peter was talking about right there, even in a foul ball pop-up right there. Nice bat speed, came through. Ball jumped off his bat.
He's only 20 years old, from the Dominican Republic. Another difference when you're looking at Team USA and Team World, the positions. We were talking about it before the game. So many of the ball players on Team World, a lot of the Caribbean players, have followed the lead of the great shortstops. They're middle infielders. That's what they have been used to seeing in their heroes. And you have a ton of them involved on Team World. And down on the wild pitch to second base, and he will stop there, as Hall had to chase it down to the backstop. Ruan a second.
Can't understand why you'd say that, since they only have 5 shortstops on this team.
That's all. But they've had all their heroes that they've looked at growing up have been shortstops.
And the people picking the team told me the toughest thing they had to find in this game was an American shortstop.
Yeah, it's amazing because, you know, but it's interesting. It's a great point, because in America, we're concentrating so much on power and basketball and different sports that their athletic position is shortstop. In baseball, you take that guy and then you move them wherever. That's why they can send these guys to third base in this game, second base, play them all over different places. But you start with short and go from there.
Ransom is playing shortstop for Cody Ransom for Team USA. And as Peter noted, not easy to find somebody to put in that position on this ball club, with all the shortstops being on Team World. 2-ball, 2-strike count with 2 down. And again, jammed him on the fist. Third base, Blaylock after it, shielding his eyes, and will make the play. So a good job. Dennis Tankersley gets out of it. No runs, a base hit. The base runner left on at second. Team USA on top of Team World 5-0.
ESPN's 2-minute drill CD-ROM. Available wherever software is sold.
That's 400 years of grime. We clean each layer, gently revealing the original beauty. As an art restorer, I do know a thing or two about stains. That's why I tried new Crest White Strips. It's this thin little strip with the same whitening ingredient dentists use. 30 minutes twice a day. I mean, I still use my whitening toothpaste, but brushing just cleans the surface. Crest White Strips get at stains below the enamel to whiten teeth 10 times better in just 2 weeks. Whiter teeth for at least 6 months. Wow. The difference you see is amazing. With Crest White Strips, I want to tell everyone, hey, check out this smile.
New Crest White Strips. Reveal your wider smile.
After this, no more jobs. This is the last one I'm doing.
Then quit. Quit now.
He bypassed the surveillance.
I run this operation down to the smallest detail.
You're the boss.
He evaded detection.
We gotta go now, or we don't go at all.
Now the only threat that remains is the one he never expected.
Hold it right there.
Robert De Niro, Edward Norton.
This is over now, and you just gotta deal with it.
It's not over yet.
The Score. Rated R. This Friday in theaters everywhere.
They say if you want to sell your product, get a cute little dog for your commercial. Here, Buster. Best to 7-Up. Oh, Buster's sleepy. Pick you when you wake up, little friend.
Mom, Dad, I've been part of this organization for a long time. A team player who takes on extra responsibilities at times when others have fallen down on the job. So I come to you today with a request, not only for greater compensation, but improved financial flexibility.
Just give them a Visa Bucks card, the prepaid spending card from Visa. Put money on it and teens can use it everywhere Visa's accepted. You set the limits, your kids learn about spending responsibly.
Who are you and what have you done with our son?
5-0. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Log on to MajorLeagueBaseball.com to order MLB's authentic collection All-Star Game Workout Day jersey of your favorite MLB All-Star. With Harold Reynolds and Peter Gammons, I'm Gary Thorne. Hope you're enjoying our All-Star Futures game. Good job by Team USA. They've been in charge so far in this one as their pitchers have dominated, and they've used the long ball. Adam Dunn has picked up a homer in this game. Chase Utley a home run. Toby Hall a home run. Back-to-back shots by Hall and Utley in the 4th inning. Jae Sao has come on to do the pitching. Red Sox organization out of South Korea. And the pitch is taken by Dunn for ball 1.
He's one of the Red Sox top prospects. He's very young, 21 years old. Got a sizable bonus to sign out of Korea. 233 to 60 strikeout walk ratio in a very short minor league career.
Peter, I got a question for you. We've seen 2 pitchers from Korea now, but how uncommon is it to see a Japanese player in the minor leagues developing in America?
Well, it doesn't happen very much, but in watching all the series, the terrific series that ESPN did on Ichiro this past week, there was a lot of talk about that, and the feeling now is that a lot of young players may, if they're not going to go to university in Japan, they'll come over here and go in the minor league. So we may start to see that.
And Song gets the inside strike on Dunn, who had that home run.
One graduate of this game, Tomo Oka, pitched in this game 2 years ago with the Red Sox. He did that. He pitched a little bit in the minor leagues and came over here and worked his way up through the minors to Boston.
Dunn will back out here. We told you about Dunn's big numbers. I mean, his offensive production has been unbelievable with those 30 combined home runs. But you know, he doesn't lead the minors. He gets a walk here. Guy by the name of Jake Landry out of Midland with the Rockhounds. 31 homers for him. Dunn's got 30. Big hitters. Russell Brannon's the name. Cleveland Indians is the team. Left-handed power always sought after at the major league level, and the Indians have one.
Howard, do you think you'd be the first 50-200 guy?
50 homers, 200 strikeouts. He punches out quite a bit, no doubt. And it used to be, well, obviously it doesn't bother teams. I mean, it's almost a silver star on your shoulder when you're punching out that much nowadays. It
doesn't matter.
Does not matter.
It doesn't matter. I mean, Sammy Sosa's, Mark McGuire, they've been prime examples of all the great home runs they've hit. Sammy again this year's up among the top 5 or 6 in strikeouts, along with all the home runs that he's put up. Adrian Gonzalez.
This guy was the #1 pick in the country in 2000. He's already in his first full season hitting 346 with 70 RBIs in the Midwest League. This kid, he was compared to Rafael Palmeiro when he signed. Harold, I think when you watching him take BP, you can see some of those similarities.
Well, he's got a nice, easy approach, and he just looks like a hitter. Sometimes guys get in the box and they just look like they can hit.
Runner at first base, 2-strike delivery. And Song misses outside with that one. Gonzalez getting his first at bat.
I was going to say, see how easy he took that pitch. You know, he doesn't jump at a lot of pitches, and the key to hitting is allowing the ball to come to you and react. And most good hitters, they don't jump.
Only 19 years old. First overall pick, and he fouls that one off. Florida Marlins. An infielder at first base. We'll keep a sharp eye on how this young man plays. Good defensive first baseman, scouting reports say, and can move the ball around when he's at the plate. He's willing to take the ball the other way, not a pull hitter necessarily. On at first with a walk, Adam Dunn. Song's overhanders foul back, 1-2.
Well, Peter was talking about Rafael Palmeiro. Palmeiro is another guy who did not pull the ball very much when he was younger. As he got older, he learned to pull the ball, and the power came. You saw Ralphie develop. Have you seen this young man enough to understand that?
You know what I see, and I love those really loose hands. Very similar loose hands.
And goes after that one and foul tipped it to keep the at-bat alive. A 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Feeling good about that.
You talk about, I mean, considering how young he is. Ralphie was a sophomore at Mississippi State at a comparable stage. And you remember the Cubs traded Ralphie away for Mitch Williams because they said they didn't think he'd ever hit for power.
Another one of those 98-mile-an-hour turndowns.
Nobody's perfect. 1 ball, 2 strikeouts still. Got that power grip and swings through that one. The Song gets the strikeout. Runner at first base now, and there's 1 away. Starting to get some of the bench players coming into this ball game. Harold Reynolds, Peter Gavins, Gary Thorne. Great to have you with us to see these future All-Stars and names to remember. And so far for Team USA, exactly what you'd expect from them guys. Power and some pretty good pitching.
Well, they've been doing exactly, because they're older, they've been able to dominate, and I think that's been the biggest difference, is the experience of the older guys.
Song to work here. Jam shot on House, getting his first at bat. There's 1 and there's 2. Good double play.
Wow, that
Roa to Lopez
time.
to Garcia.
Big time. See how quick he got rid of that ball?
And he got dumped at second on the pivot too. Take a look at this. Watch the play at second base. Baroja, Lopez. He got taken out on that slide. Still made a good throw.
This month on pay-per-view.
Whoa, lighten up that aftershave.
He hears what women think.
That's buns.
He feels what women feel.
Dad, what are you doing?
Exfoliating. Mel Gibson. You go, girl. Helen Hunt.
Oh, I just looked at his crotch.
What women want.
Can't believe this is what I'll be wearing the last night I'm a virgin.
This month on pay-per-view. Rated PG-13 for sexual content and language.
Surprising new discoveries. Amazing new species. You never know what you'll find in your own backyard. When dinosaurs roamed America. Next Sunday, July 15th at 8 Eastern and Pacific on the Discovery Channel. Closer than you think.
Super middleweight title fight. Eric Lucas versus Glenn Catley. Tuesday night fights, 9 p.m. Tuesday on ESPN2.
The Big Fly Championship, Joe, that means the Home Run Kings in the Home Run Derby. Everyone loves the Big Fly. The long ball.
Goodbye! The Century 21 Home Run Derby, 8 Eastern, tomorrow, only on ESPN.
5-0 lead. Team USA on top, 5-7-0. The world 0-4-1. As the pitching combinations put out there for Team USA have gotten it done. Alumni of this All-Star Futures game now with the New York Yankees. Alfonso Soriano, the Yankees, making a run as they and the Red Sox have been battling, and Soriano has been a very major part of their turnaround this season with that average, RBIs, and stolen bases.
Biggest name in the offseason with trade talks was this young man right here.
Absolutely. I mean, there's always that temptation with the Yankees. I mean, he still hasn't learned the strike zone, but the thing is, he's made such improvement. I mean, he got 3 walks total in April and May. He got 9 in June. He's shown the capacity to be able to learn on the big league level and develop, and that's a huge thing.
And he's won the confidence of the owner, Mr. Steinbrenner himself, and Joe Torre, the manager. If you're talking about possibly trading Chuck Knobloch, you're almost saying Chuck's not going to come back and play second anyway, because that was the talk in the beginning of the year. We'll move him out to left field as an experiment, and maybe he can work his way back into second base. Obviously, Soriano has shown them that he wants to be there for a while.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. Safeco Field, the site. Jerome Williams, Double-A ball at Shreveport, comes on. Jerome with the Giants organization and the youngest player on the Team USA roster. He's 19, won't be 20 until December.
And he's really starting to come. He struggled earlier in the season. He's one of 3 or 4 of the top Giants pitching prospects, and very young, youngest pitcher in the Texas League, and he is starting to put together, I think he's put together about 8 or 10 pretty good starts now after a tough start over a little bit. You know, he was rushed and he developed.
Well, he reminds me a lot his motion of Frank Rodriguez with the Giants.
Bellamy, who's now the designated hitter, puts one to the wall, and goodbye, home run. All you need's 1 row, and he found one.
Well, Bellamy, you know, we talked about him in the open. We may see this guy in Atlanta with the injury to Rafael Foncal before you think so. And there's been a lot of talk about how much of a better hitter he is right-handed than left, but that's the second breaking ball I've seen him swing at from the left side and have a pretty good swing.
So Bellamy gets Team World on the board. Their 5th hit and their first run. And it is a 5-1 ball game.
Pretty impressive, huh, Peter? He goes down. That's just how strong he is also.
The way he's able to stay back, move his hands through there. And for the time being, I mean, Mark DeRosa's played pretty well for the Braves. He struggled at first when he came up because he had a little bit of a tendency to stay back on ground balls, but he's a good athlete. He was really just about to win the second base job permanently when Furcal went down, so it'll be interesting. I think a lot depends on what the Braves do, on how healthy they keep the rest of their infields.
The other thing with the Braves, very similar to the Yankees, as you get a chance to look at Ortega, is that they're playing to win the World Series. And I don't know if they're going to sit there and say we can do this with a young, undeveloped young player. And that's the biggest difference. Will they go get a guy who can catch the ball for them because of that staff? That's all you need.
Right off the bottom of the wall, Ortega on his way to second base, and all of a sudden the offense of Team World coming on against Jerome Williams, runner at second with the double. Let's get downstairs again. Alvaro Martin.
Joined by Wilson Betemit. He's 2 for 3 already. He's got the run for the World team. And with the Braves, if you're a prospect, and a good prospect, they typically want you to do some switch hitting. I'm going to ask him about that in Spanish now. Han insistido los Braves en que seas un bateador ambidiestro. ¿Cómo ha ido ese proceso?
Bueno, se ganó muy bien, gracias a Dios. Así que ya 2 años atrás, en el 99, no quería batar a la derecha porque me sentí, no quería batar a la izquierda porque me sentí un poco incómodo, me estaba un poco abajo, pero sí, gracias a Dios lo cogí muy bien.
Said 2 years ago he was uncomfortable with the left side, and that's the one side he just hit the home run on. I just actually told him right before he's at bat, you're going to have to do better and hit it over the wall to be on an interview. He's getting the interview right now, gentlemen.
You're a primary motivator down there, Alvaro.
Look at you, Alvaro, working them.
You say home run, he gets one. William Opeña playing A-ball in Dayton. Getting his first at-bat here, and a fastball called strike 3. He's gone in a hurry.
Well, before we could even say he was traded by the Yankees for Drew Henson.
He's got to make his way back. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night from Jerome Williams. 1 down. 7-inning ball game. Team USA on top by a score of 5-1 here in the 6th. Breaking ball misses outside. Humberto Cota at the plate, his first at bat.
Well, he's another Pirate catcher. They have J.R. House and Cota in this game are catching prospects, and of course the door may be open with Jason Kendall moving around a little bit, but Jason Kendall's an all-star.
Right at the plate. That's a tough one, and Hall makes the catch. That's one of those silo shots straight up in the air. A catcher's nightmare, because nobody else can get there in time to help you, but you got to do 360s to find it, and all of a sudden you're getting dizzy.
Well, it's amazing what a showcase game like this can do for a player also, like Hall, being stuck in the minor leagues this long. Other people get a chance to see him. Nice play here, staying with the ball. We got a chance to see him hit a home run. He's doing some things, and Peter's talked great about him, and when Peter talks, people listen. Mr. E.F. Hutton over here.
Nah, the Devil Rays know very well what they had. They tried to trade DeFelice or Flaherty in spring training to get him a job. I mean, he had a great Arizona Fall League, and that's where he really blossomed. They know he's ready to play in the big leagues, but, you know, as you said, Howard, it doesn't hurt to get, especially for pitchers with innings and catchers, for more innings, just to the experience of catching those pitchers.
And Garcia's at the plate, swings and misses on the fastball from Jerome Williams. Luis Garcia, and getting his first at bat.
Peter, tell us something about Mr. Garcia. We got to give him a little more pub than the drop pop fly.
Well, he's another guy who hit one in the upper tank during BP. He's a guy the Red Sox signed a few years ago, played 2 years in the Dominican Winter League, Summer League, 1 year in the Mexican Summer League. This is his second full year, and he's already in Double-A.
And we've completed 6 here at our Futures All-Star game as the World team gets on the board here. Wilson Betemit delivering the homer to make it a 5-1 game.
What's going on?
Is technology simplified?
What's going on?
Is a great selection of brand name products, services, and cool gifts.
What's going on?
Is helpful experts ready to answer your questions?
What's going on?
Is over 7,000 Radio Shack stores across America.
What's going on?
Is that now we do installations.
What's going on?
Is Radio Shack connecting you to?
What's going on? Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on. What's going on?
Finally, here it is. the 7-Up backpack. Here, Kenny, try it on. Not only does it have our logo, I've loaded it with an entire case of 7-Up. Roll over, Kenny. You're hiding the logo.
That's 400 years of grime. We clean each layer, gently revealing the original beauty. As an art restorer, I do know a thing or two about stains. That's why I tried new Crest White Strips. It's this thin little strip with the same whitening ingredient dentists use. 30 minutes twice a day. I mean, I still use my whitening toothpaste, but brushing just cleans the surface. Crest White Strips get at stains below the enamel to whiten teeth 10 times better in just 2 weeks. Whiter teeth for at least 6 months. Wow. The difference you see is amazing. With Crest White Strips, I want to tell everyone, hey, check out this smile.
New Crest White Strips. Reveal your wider smile.
The Radio Shack All-Star Futures Game is brought to you by Radio Shack, official sponsors of Major League Baseball.
Great to have you with us, everybody. Welcome back to Seattle. Team USA leading Team World 5-1 as the bottom of the 6th inning is coming up. A reminder, tomorrow night, ESPN Classic brings you a real classic. Major League. Wesley Snipes, Tom Berenger, and Charlie Sheen, otherwise known as Rick Vaughn, the star in this classic baseball movie. Can a bunch of misfits overcome themselves and their corrupt owner to win back the fans of Cleveland? It's Major League tomorrow night, 11 o'clock, only on ESPN Classic. To get Classic, dial 1-800-CLASSIC or call your cable provider.
How many times did you see that movie, Gary?
Once.
Yeah. You like it? Once. Is that enough?
I like it. The first time.
For me, Bull Durham I've seen 30 times. Long Gone I've seen 25 times. Major League I've seen about 3.
There you go.
Wow.
Long Gone. Long Gone.
Right?
Long Gone is the most underrated great baseball movie ever made.
The Natural and 61. Couple of my favorites.
Alex Herrera coming on in relief. He is from Venezuela with the Cleveland Indians, and he is another young man, 21 years old. 3 different levels he's pitched at this season.
Very good arm. They're still not, his command is developing. The Indians have a lot of hard throwers in their organization right now. But this guy fascinates me, Harold. I mean, you hit leadoff. He said to me he's been hitting leadoff since about the 9th grade. He knows he's got only one thing to do in the game. Get over to first base, then get himself around to catch. You got a 400 on-base percentage, Kelly. What does that mean?
Well, that's one thing that we really do not do a great job of, we being baseball, in developing specific roles of players anymore. Now we're looking a lot for power. He's a guy who's built in a leadoff hitter, and he loves to do it.
Strong, who's 3rd in the Midwest League with a .353 batting average, is getting his first at-bat in the ball game. Here he leads off the 6th.
.433 on-base percentage. He's got an amazing career total of 111 walks, 71 strikeouts in a little more than a year after being drafted out of the University of Nebraska.
Herrera's delivery to him is a breaking ball missing down low, 2-2.
I got a chance to see the University of Nebraska at the College World Series this year, and one of the things that happens when you play at a school in cold weather climates, you get to work on specific skills. And that's one thing he was able to do at Nebraska. Work on hand-eye coordination, contact, a lot of flip drills, and stay within his game. Those are the things that happen. And if you get to the right minor league organization, you continue to develop those things all the way through.
Facing a real tough left-hander in Alex Ferreira, and a 3-2 count. And Jamal Strong jammed on the pitch. Cabrera makes the play to first. Garcia's there. And one away in the 6th inning. Aerial coverage from on high, provided courtesy of the Budweiser.com airship. Delivered fresh daily from a brewery near you. Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. I'm looking at the numbers, and did so before, of Alex Herrera. I mean, you got to be kidding me. 57 1/3 innings that he's worked, and his ERA is .47. 3 earned runs and 32 hits in 57 innings.
That is something like out of a Nintendo game.
Hey, that's
you saw the fastball though right there. He's got great movement. He's throwing mid-90s. That's how you dominate.
He's coming out, but you're going to, if those numbers are real, you're going to hear from this young man, only 21 years old, a lot.
Well, especially as bad as that Cleveland Indian staff has been, you never know what might happen.
Well, they're developing young pitchers, and to me, they've got one of the best instructors in the game in Mike Brown.
And if indeed he makes it, he will join a very substantial list of people who have played in this All-Star Futures game who have moved on to be on a Major League Baseball roster. Remember, this is only the third year that we've had the Futures All-Star game. That's how many have gone on to the big leagues.
That's a tribute to Major League Baseball. I think the vision of baseball has changed so much, and to be able to showcase the young guys, I think it's great because you have guys from A-ball, AA, AAA, all levels, and Peter, to see them move at that fast pace is incredible.
It's remarkable. Luke Pocapek has been a great story for the Dodgers, and you revealed Durazo that Diamondbacks will look at everywhere for a starting pitcher, whether it's Pedro Estacio or Sterling Hitchcock, but the problem is everybody wants Durazo.
You know, it's interesting, Gary, a couple weeks ago we were talking about this on Baseball Tonight, that there's 55 players in the big leagues right now, 23 years or younger.
That's we've talked about the fact that many players are having to learn to play the game at the major league level, not in the minors. Clubs need these players who have the natural talent, so developing that is now taking place more and more at the major leagues. You're learning how to pitch, you're learning how to field, you're learning team strategies at the major league level rather than the minors.
Yeah, and it can at times be very sloppy play, but the other equation of it is you give them so much money now that an owner is sitting there going, I want to see this guy I've invested the money in. Peter, tell us about Roman Grant.
He's Australian like Luke Pocapek and Brad Thomas, who's now with the Twins. Guy, good fastball, has yet to develop his breaking ball completely, but he's got good stuff. And has been closing for New Britain, a team that you know very well.
Yeah, I got a chance to go see it. They're about 20 minutes from ESPN, so we'll get a chance to go watch this club play, and it's going to be a good one.
Team USA with Toby Hall doing the catching in this ball game. He's caught the entire game. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning, and he will face Grant Belfour now. Belfour was a member of that Australian Olympic team. One down, and the pitch is taken for a strike. 5-1 lead for Team USA in this Futures All-Star game. The pitching in this game has been about as good as you would want. Team USA, nice jam shot off the fist and a 2-strike count. Northwest being blessed with some of the best weather you'll ever see here in Seattle, and it's supposed to continue that way through all of this All-Star week. So Major League Baseball, the gods up there, Major League gods are seeing it through. Couldn't be nicer. 0-2 delivery down to first, and a tough hop. Garcia makes the play and will get the out. Alvaro Martin.
We're joined by the local representative, Jamal Strong of Marin Organization. Jamal, you've been working a lot on becoming a better leadoff hitter and a better hitter. Who have you been working with?
I've been working with Gary Thurman. He's the coach up in Wisconsin. Also with Darnell Coles and Glenn Adams and Terry Polaris. They were all my instructors down in instructional ball and spring ball.
One of the things that you're very proud of is your ability to work the count. When did that start, and what's your approach to working the count?
My approach is being a leadoff hitter, to see as many pitches as I possibly can. I know this year when I started off in Wisconsin, I had the chance to play under Gary Thurman. He was also a great leadoff hitter for the big league club, so he taught me a lot, as well as running the bases and being a great hitter as well.
You had a great ovation when you stepped onto the field, and again when your name was announced. It's fun to play here in front of the home folks, so to speak.
Oh yeah, it's a great crowd, you know. With me being a lone representative of the Seattle Mariners, you know, I'm playing in front of a big crowd, you know, they're all cheering for me, so it's tough to go up there and not to get a base hit the first time, but it's all right, you know. I've had a lot of fun playing with all the guys on my team and also the other guys as well.
The current leadoff hitter, Ichiro, gets to first base in 3.7 seconds from the left side. From the right side, he gets there in 3.88. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Wow. Well, you mentioned a couple guys, Gary Thurman, Darnell Coles, good friends of mine, and you know, it's so important to be able to be developed by a guy. I think it's great that he's playing with Gary Thurman as a manager who understands being a leadoff hitter, because that's what he did in the big league.
Team World is going to get one more shot at it as Grant Belfour came on and got the final 2 outs here in the inning. Utley, the strikeout victim.
What's going on?
Is technology simplified?
What's going on?
Is a great selection of brand name products, services, and cool gifts?
What's going on?
Is helpful experts ready to answer your questions?
What's going on?
Is over 7,000 Radio Shack stores across America?
What's going on?
Is that now we do installations?
What's going on?
Is Radio Shack connecting you to?
What's going on? Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on. What's going on?
Quick question. They all have the same body. They all have the same skill. Who's going to win? Answer, the one who decides. Myoflex ready-to-drink shakes from EAS. Now available with less than 4 grams of carbs.
Right now, save 20% on all EAS sports products, only at GNC. Introducing the next great Jeep idea, Jeep Liberty. So incredibly capable, it can take you miles away. And back again. Jeep Liberty.
1999, Boston. Where were you when McGuire lit up Fenway? You can't afford to miss this summer's Slam Fest, the Century 21 Home Run Derby on ESPN this Monday, 8 p.m.
Welcome back, everybody, here at Safeco Field. We go to the 7th inning. Could be the last half of it for our Futures All-Star game with Team USA on top 5-1. The world's got to get 4 at least to keep this thing going. See if they can do it here in the 7th inning. And we will get another pitcher, Josh Pierce, coming on with the St. Louis Cardinals organization and a native of Yakima, Washington.
Well, take it away, Peter.
Well, it's good, solid sinker slider, very good command. One of the, I'm a little surprised. I thought Bud Smith might be in this game, who was the minor league, one of the top pitchers in minor leagues last year. But this guy is a very typical Cardinal pitcher. Pretty good fastball, very good command, and works very aggressive.
Good pitching today for Team USA. George, a couple of innings, gave up just 2 hits, 2 strikeouts. Myers, 2 innings, a hit and a K. Tankersley an inning, a hit and 2 strikeouts. Williams went an inning, 1 earned run, the home run, the only hit he gave up. Now Josh Pierce on. We may see more here in this inning as they'll try and get everybody into the game if they can. Little mass cam here from behind the plate. And a chopper right off the plate that time that's going to go foul.
Well, thinking about Lopez real quick, the hitter with the Toronto Blue Jay organization, when Homer Bush went on the disabled list, they were thinking about maybe bringing this guy up and playing him because he was starting to develop to where they felt like he was at the point where he's real close to the big leagues. So injuries have a big part to do with it also, with your moving through the chain, not necessarily having to take a job, but getting an opportunity to go up and play.
And very little mercy, Harold, in any pro sport, baseball no different. You can be having a great year or be a great prospect. You get injured, you can be forgotten in a heartbeat until you start putting the numbers back up again. That's why injuries can be so destructive to young players. Blocked, and the Hall will have to make the play at first base. Josh Pierce gets the strikeout. Lopez is retired, one away here in the 7th inning.
You're right, Gary. It can be so, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah, I mean, that's the nature of the business, because the whole idea is to win now, and if you're not helping in that regard, then that's the way it's going to be.
Felipe Lopez probably needs a full season in AAA too, because he really struggled at AA last year at the plate with his plate selection in the field. So he needs, he's improved a lot. His on base has improved. His overall game, his defense has been much better. He's 20 errors, a lot of errors, but it's a lot better than last year.
You saw Jackie Moore coming out. He's a minor league manager in the Houston organization. He's making the pitching change here for Team USA. And Peter, you've been talking about Mr. Chasen, who's going to get an opportunity to get an out.
Well, this is an interesting guy. He's a closer in Double-A for the Cubs. He was a Rule 5 draft. Really good piece of baseball from Jim Hendry to go find this guy. Won 15 games in California League last year for Oakland, and Oakland decided that they would give him to the Cubs Rule 5 if they got Miguel Cairo, which they did when Ortiz got hurt. But Chasen's been a closer. He's a kid. He was a convert. He was basically a shortstop at Eastern Connecticut State. He grew up in Norwich, Connecticut, and he's got a live arm, but he's only been pitching for about 3 years.
And the one thing about him too, Peter, is he's got the personality to be able to handle the closing situation. He's quite a character.
Second in saves in the Southern League. He's got 18. Don't forget, our coverage tomorrow looks like this. Baseball tonight at the Century 21 Home Run Derby comes your way at 7 p.m. At 8 p.m., Century 21 Home Run Derby. Sammy Sosa defending his title. Barry Bonds, Louis Gonzalez, Todd Helton, Brett Boone, Alex Rodriguez have all accepted invitations to compete. And following that, Radio Shack MLB Legend Celebrity Softball game. We cap it off with the All-Star Gala at midnight. For more on the All-Star coverage, log on to ESPN.com. But that's your All-Star Monday on ESPN. Great to have you with us here. The young fans on hand on this beautiful Sunday. And they cheered. Their Seattle Mariners won another ball game today. Now the All-Star break after tonight's Sunday night baseball game. Yankees and Mets. That's the last game to be played before we get to the break. Miguel Cabrera up with one down and nobody on. And the 1-0 heater swung on and missed.
Well, you can see that Scott Chasen's got tremendous deception. Looks like he steps a little bit at the hitter, the right-hand hitter that is, and then slings the ball back across his body. But he's got nice motion for a guy to close. Very hard to pick up when you see a guy one time like that.
Everybody getting a chance to play as both managers trying to get everybody into the ball game. 7-inning ball game, as we said earlier, so this could be the last inning if Team World does not come back to tie this thing up. Foul back and a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Well, Chasen, in some ways you'd think it would be a break going to a team like the Cubs, but as he pointed out, now I'm over with a club that probably has the deepest bullpen in baseball.
And a surprise bullpen at that. 2-2. And that one misses outside.
But there's two things in baseball. If you hit, you're going to play, and if you can pitch, you're going to pitch. You're going to get to the big leagues, particularly a pitcher. Because we all know what's happening with the pitching in the big leagues. Everybody needs it.
The way they've been falling to injuries here again this season, the holes keep opening up seemingly every day. Some ball clubs had an injury. Chasen comes on and surrenders a walk. So that'll put a base runner on with one down here in the 7th inning. And the number 9 hitter, the center fielder, Juan Ruan, will be coming to the plate. He has singled and flied out.
What impressed me about Ruan his first time up was how fast he is. This guy gets down the line.
And the Expos, obviously he's a ways away from the major leagues, but the Expos are struggling. I really haven't understood what happened. I thought both Milton Bradley and Peter Bergeron could be pretty good players, Harold. They have both really struggled with the big league level, making that jump from AAA.
Down the line, foul territory. There'll be no play on this one.
Well, the toughest jump in all sports, whatever the sport is, football, basketball, and particularly baseball like we're talking about now, is from AAA to the big leagues. Because the thing that I noticed when I first got to the major leagues was everything was faster. It wasn't a matter of my talent wasn't able to match, but it was like, wow, that ground ball, oh, get rid of it. Everybody was faster. The whole game was quicker.
Ruan off the fists. Yeah, it is a big jump, and if you come up with a ball club that's not playing particularly well and you're a young player, it's the old adage about learning how to lose can hurt you in your own personal struggle if you're not very strong inside. You can just kind of fall into that lapse of being on a losing team and nothing seems to matter, and you don't have the intuition to want to go on yourself and make yourself better. There's not a lot around you to motivate you.
Well, losing can develop a lot of selfish players in baseball, and it's a real fine line because baseball is such a game of individuals. It's an individual game in a team concept, and if you're losing, you still have to put numbers up, because if you're not putting numbers up, you're gone too.
Yeah.
So it becomes almost a thing you feed off. It's a dangerous curve that you sit on.
I'm really a great believer in at least having your teams competitive in the minor leagues. You don't have to be in first place on every level like the Houston Astros are right now, but at least be competitive so that they're playing for a team, not just for your own stats.
Scott Chasen's pitch is fouled off down the line again by Ruan. Another bouncer into the seats. 2-2 count.
Well, it makes it better for everybody. And, you know, we've all been around baseball long enough to be around a losing team. And it is a long summer in baseball, more so than anything, because you have so much lag time to think about it.
And so many games to play. 2-2. Jason's pitch to right field, not deep. Lane coming, won't get it. Short hop, played behind him, got some help going to third. Cabrera trying to get the second, not in time on the relay blaylock. Whoops. To Utley, and that's a bad base running mistake by Ruan.
Well, again, you know, we're talking about the difference, and I'll harp on this all day, of guys that have had more playing experience than the younger players. Those are aggressive mistakes that you make, and that's what's taught at the A-ball level. Be as aggressive as you can.
Good backup here from center in order to make the play happen.
That was Jae Sao. That was a nice play.
Yes, it was. And just the third baseman to be able to come up and cut this ball off 3 or 4 steps allows you to get that throw back down to second to get the runner. And those are things that you develop with time played.
Good move. They get the out, and we'll get a pitching change when we come back. USA leading at 5-1.
Speed of F-Zero. The horror of Castlevania. The moves of Tony Hawk 2, now on Game Boy Advance. Rated everyone to teen.
After this, no more jobs. This is the last one I'm doing.
Then quit. Quit now.
He bypassed the surveillance. I run this operation down to the smallest detail. You're the boss. He evaded detection. We gotta go now, or we don't go at all. Now, the only threat that remains is the one he never expected.
Hold it right there.
Robert De Niro, Edward Norton.
This is over now, and you've got to deal with it.
It's not over yet. The Score. Rated R. This Friday in theaters everywhere.
My poor mom. She doesn't have a clue. What does she know about me? About my life? I don't know how I'm supposed to act or where I fit in. What if I can't do it? What if I screw up?
If you need someone to talk to, you can call the Girls and Boys Town National Hotline. They're ready 24 hours a day, and they understand what you're dealing with. The call is free at 1-800-448-3000. The answers you're looking for are only a phone call away.
The Space Needle along the symbol of this building city of Seattle, where the All-Star events are taking place, including this, our Radio Shack Futures All-Star Game. Kenny Mayne from Seattle, happy to be back home again and having a good time. And the Home Run Derby, of course, one of the highlights of all of the All-Star festivity activities, taking place on ESPN. It'll be tomorrow night. It'll be right here at Safeco Field in Seattle. Sammy will be on board. Billy Sylvester, there are combined numbers, AA, AAA, comes on in relief, looking for the final out of the ball game with 2 down here in the 7th inning.
Bill Sylvester, he was 0-11 3 years ago in the minor leagues, but he shot through the Braves organization. AA, now AAA.
And now an out. One pitch, Baroja hit it to left field. Hauled in, Dunn's there, and that's it. Team USA comes away with a 5-1 win against Team World in our Futures All-Star Game. You see our final line, 5-7-0. Team USA 1-7-1 for Team World. There will be an MVP of this ball game, and we'll find out who it is when we come back to Seattle.
On July 18th,
We have a landing strip up ahead. You want me to put it down?
New Island,
Dr. Graham, you should come look at this.
new species. What was that? It's a Tyrannosaurus. It sounds bigger. New danger. It's a bird cage.
For what?
Jurassic Park 3. PG-13. At theaters Wednesday, July 18th.
How much PC can $849 get you? More PC than we can tell you about in 30 seconds. A super fast Intel Pentium 3 processor, CD-ROM, accelerated graphics, pro-quality audio system, monitor, one-touch internet access, lots of memory, plus 5 color choices, red, green, blue, purple, and orange. And that's just for starters. The compact Presario 5000T. Let us build one for you. Call us direct at 1-800-331-0403 for all this, and we'll double your memory for free. Hey, do I have time to mention the...
Every day, AmeriDebt helps more people with money problems.
My credit card debt was outrageous. Then I called AmeriDebt. They contacted my creditors and got my payments almost cut in half.
AmeriDebt is a nonprofit organization that offers free consultations to consumers seeking to eliminate their debt.
Every month I pay our credit card bills, but the balances never seem to get smaller.
AmeriDebt got our interest rates reduced, and now the balances are dropping dramatically.
Call 1-800-848-4600. AmeriDebt, helping America get out of debt.
There's our final in the All-Star Futures game. Team USA coming away with a 5-1 win. Alvaro Martin, who you got with you?
I think I've got the MVP, Toby Hall, 2 for 3, a home run, and he caught every pitch in the game. What are you most proud of, your batting or your catching in this game?
A little bit of both. You know, I mean, it's exciting to, you know, play in the stadium and to be able to do offensive and defense. So, you know, my main goal was to come in here and just have fun and play the game.
He started catching in his last year at UNLV, and you told us that catching helped you as a batter. You are also the minor league player that has the best plate appearance per strikeout ratio. How has catching helped you at bat?
It keeps me in the game, and I've really bared down on doing, you know, the little things that it's take to get to the big leagues, where catching is what I, you know, need to be every day back there. So offensively, it's just it's taken over from there.
It's funny that the 2 guys who were your mentors during spring training are the guys ahead of you in the depth chart with the organization. Do you have your own way of looking at it, your own way of having some patience about your possible promotion?
The way I look at it, in the situation where I'm at now is, you know, I'm 25 years old, and I feel like I'm at the top of my game where I can perform at you know, at the big league level, and I owe it a lot to those guys, and you know, getting me, you know, especially defensively. And there's a lot of people that have worked with me to get to the big leagues.
1 strikeout every 23 plate appearances. His footwork's improving. His game call's improving. He's about ready, folks.
He indeed is. MVP Toby Hall, the catcher, Devil Rays. That's the organization he belongs to, leading the USA to the 5-1 win. We'll wrap it up when we come back to Seattle.
What's going on?
Is technology simplified?
What's going on?
Is a great selection of brand name products, services, and cool gifts?
What's going on?
Is helpful experts ready to answer your questions?
What's going on?
Is over 7,000 Radio Shack stores across America?
What's going on?
Is that now we do installations?
What's going on?
Is Radio Shack connecting you to?
What's going on? Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on. What's going on?
Quick question. They all have the same body. They all have the same skill. Who's going to win? Answer, the one who decides. Bioflex ready-to-drink shakes from EAS. Now available with less than 4 grams of carbs.
Right now, save 20% on all EAS sports products. Only at GNC.
Team USA 5-7-0 for Team World 1-7-1 as the array of pitchers for Team USA got it done here in this Futures All-Star game. Gentlemen, impressions overall or in particular, Harold?
Well, to me, the biggest thing is that bringing this game, the excitement that it's bringing, the fans that are there, and to me, as far as on the field from the world team, Wilson Bettermean, I know Peter's going to talk about a little bit more about the U.S. team, but Peter, what do you get from Bettermean?
Well, I really like Bettermean, but I'll tell you what really impressed me were the 3 pitchers to Team USA. Chris George from the Royals, who will obviously be in the big league very soon. Brett Myers of the Phillies, who's a 20-year-old guy in Double-A, power pitcher, obviously a tough guy. And Dennis Tankersley, who now jumped up to Double-A with the Padres, who to me has a great delivery and power. Would not surprise me at all if at this time next year all three guys are in Major League rotations.
I really like the MVP in this ball game. I thought Hall did a heck of a job. He looked very solid behind the plate, handling pitchers that he's probably never seen before, and coming away with the MVP with a single and a home run to go along with it. In this ball game, we saw the long ball along with the base hits. Dunn delivered Toby Hallruther a couple of hits in the ball game. Chance at the plate. Johnson able to score underneath it. Then we'd get back-to-back homers. Dunn would pick up that one. That was the first of two that came in the fourth inning. Utley would deliver another right here. Long ball, Team USA using it here today, and that along with the pitching that Peter was talking about, enough to get it done. Bettamy would pick up the only RBI with that home run that came in the sixth inning. Just made it into the seats for Team World's only run of the ball game. So, gentlemen, this game continues to be a vital part of the All-Star Weekend and for the baseball organizations.
I'm excited that Major League Baseball stepped up, got the vision to get these young guys here, and I think it's going to be great for everybody in the state of baseball to have this game.
And you know what really impressed me? The attitude, the work habits, just the presence. You can learn a lot about presence around clubhouses with almost no exceptions. I was shocked at how great these kids were.
Gentlemen, great working with you and a great chance to see this beautiful field and these young players. USA wins it. Don't forget tomorrow, our All-Star coverage highlighted by Century 21's Home Run Derby at 8 p.m. Coming up next, it'll be ESPN's Thunder. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more and that complete schedule, just log on to ESPN.com. For Peter Gammons, Harold Reynolds, Oliver Clue, Alvaro Martino downstairs, I'm Gary Thorne. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Futures All-Star Game Final. Team USA 5, Team World 1. See you from Seattle.